News. The mayor of Riverview is in jail, accused of committing crimes against juveniles. We'll hear from St. Louis County Police coming up.
I'm Scott Jagow. This flu bug hitting the region is no joke. Health officials say those who haven't gotten a flu shot need to think again about getting one.
This is AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg. It'll be breezy today and not as cold as yesterday, with clouds, some sun, and perhaps a late-day shower, the high 47.
In CBS News, another night of protests against federal immigration agents. President Trump threatening to send the military into the Twin Cities.
Brian Feldman has the latest in sports coming your way at the Tone. It's 6 o'clock.
Celebrating 100 years of informing and entertaining. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. The voice of St. Louis.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. There's no end in sight to clashes between anti-ICE protesters and federal agents in Minnesota, despite a new threat from the president. Correspondent Jared Hill.
Another night of intense protests in Minneapolis. Federal agents pinned one man down as they clashed with demonstrators. The latest spike in tensions comes after an ICE agent shot a Venezuelan migrant in the leg earlier this week. President Trump Thursday morning threatened to invoke the Insurrection Act and send the U.S. military into the Twin Cities.
Destiny Jackson, her husband, and their 6 children were driving through when their car got tear gassed.
I managed to fill around and open up I unlocked everybody's door, and I hopped out and I just started pulling as many kids as I could out.
She says she had to give her baby mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. A Native American tribe says it's searching for several homeless members who may have been detained. Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado granted President Trump his wish when they met at the White House.
I presented the President of the United States the medal of the Nobel Peace Prize.
He may have that medal, but the Nobel Committee says the honor is not transferable. A group of lawmakers from both sides of the aisle have left Capitol Hill for Denmark. They're expected to meet with government officials and business leaders from both Denmark and Greenland on President Trump's bid to take over the island. Correspondent Nicole Killian.
The lawmakers say they remain concerned about the president's rhetoric and hope to reinforce their concerns during the trip, while also reaffirming the U.S.'s partnership with Denmark and the NATO alliance.
Lose your cell phone service the other day? You can get some help paying your bill.
Verizon says it did not meet the standard of excellence its customers expect Wednesday. To get their $20 credit, customers have to log on to the My Verizon app and accept it. The cause of the outage is still a mystery.
I think it's another reminder that these networks are more fragile than we think.
Lance Ulanoff is editor-at-large at Tech Radar.
The redundancy of these systems is still probably not where it needs to be.
Verizon says customers who are still having problems should restart their phones to reconnect to the network. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
It's 38 degrees in Tampa this morning, which spells trouble for strawberry growers like Nick Wishnowski at Wish Farms ahead of peak season.
What we're really trying to protect here are these blooms. That's your future berry about 3 weeks away. Once it hits 32, that's when we really start to take notice.
Crews use sprinkler systems to keep them from freezing. Dow futures are up 36. NASDAQ futures ahead 136. This is CBS News. Take control of your financial life. Follow and listen to Money Watch with Jill Schlesinger on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
At 6:03, it's mostly clear. We have 33 degrees downtown at the Gateway Arch. Today is Friday, January 16th. Good morning. I'm Scott Jagow.
And I'm Debbie Monterrey. The mayor of Riverview has been arrested and accused of sexually assaulting minors and adults.
Mayor Mike Cornell Jr. has been charged with 4 counts of statutory sodomy, 3 counts of sodomy or attempted sodomy, and 1 count each of harassment and possession of child porn. Cornell is accused of sexually assaulting 2 minors between 2016 and 17, and then assaulting another victim last month. St. Louis County Police Lieutenant Colonel Jerry Lohr says they believe due to this gap and the nature of the crimes, there could be other victims out there.
It's possible that this is like a predatory type of behavior. And we're concerned that if he was, willing to do it to a minor, that there may be other minors that we're just not aware of.
Lohr says Cornell used his position of power to entice his victims. He encourages anyone who might have been a victim of Cornell to come forward. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
Cornell is currently in custody in the St. Louis County Jail, being held on $1 million bond.
A massive federal investigation into point shaving reaches St. Louis. Prosecutors indicted former SLU forward Bradley Azuero for his alleged role in a national bribery scheme. Investigators say Azuero took cash to purposefully underperform in games. That's specifically the Billikens' 2024 matchup against Duquesne, so gamblers could win bets against the spread. Coming up at 6:22, we'll hear from FBI Deputy Director Andrew Bailey about the complexity of this investigation because numerous players on numerous teams are involved.
A homeless camp near Cass and North 10th now has a makeshift warming center. However, concerns over its safety have drawn the city's attention. That shelter was made in a few days out of wood and old billboard banners and warmed by a propane heater. St. Louis Mayor Kara Spencer is worried about a potential fire.
I do not want to see the loss of life for anybody taking shelter in a very clearly unsafe structure.
Spencer says the city is not demolishing that structure at this time, but wants to work with its builder, Arian Johnson, on how to make it safer for use. Johnson says the homeless at Tent City don't want to go to one of the city's permanent shelters when it's cold because they fear their belongings will be stolen while they're gone.
St. Louis County health officials say they've recorded 8 confirmed flu-related deaths so far this season.
St. Louis County Health Department Director Dr. Kanika Cunningham says the 5 men and 3 women who died ranged in age from 36 to 89 years old. 7 of the 8 were 70 or older. Dr. Cunningham says all those who died had underlying health conditions or other risk factors, such as smoking or obesity, and the majority had not received a flu shot.
This information reinforces what we know about influenza. It can be deadly, particularly for people at higher risk, including older adults, young children, people who are pregnant, and individuals with chronic health conditions. However, even healthy adults can become very sick from the flu, miss work or school, and spread illness to others.
Dr. Cunningham says with at least a couple more months of flu activity likely, it's still not too late to get a flu shot. Fred Bottomer, KMOX News.
The battle over high insulin prices in Missouri is heating up in both the courtroom and the State House.
Attorney General Catherine Hanaway is filing suit against 19 healthcare conglomerates, including Express Scripts, a St. Louis area company, claiming they all conspired to artificially inflate drug costs. The Missouri Pharmacy Business Council, that's the Independent Pharmacy Association, immediately threw its support behind the case, calling the big companies predatory. That group is also urging lawmakers to pass new bills that would ban pharmacy benefit managers from steering patients to their own pharmacies and from conducting retaliatory audits.
That is KMOX's Michael Calhoun. The injustice suffered by Japanese Americans incarcerated during World War II is the subject of a new exhibit. It opens Saturday at the St. Louis Kaplan Feldman Holocaust Museum. Executive Director Myron Friedman says they partnered with the Japanese American Citizens League.
And so they do have many, many families with ties back to this period of time and the incarceration. And there's also an artist that we are featuring locally. His name is Art Tawada. He unfortunately passed away in 2019, but he was an artist based in Alton.
The exhibit features work from 8 artists who are sensei or third generation.
From the business desk, sponsored by Krentz Financial Group, KFGadvisors.com. The tower at OPOP on 8th Street has been placed in court-ordered receivership after its owner defaulted on an almost $19 million loan. Chicago-based Frontline Real Estate Partners was named the property's receiver, according to the Business Journal. Reportedly, none of the building's elevators have worked for at least a month, and no funding had been provided for repairs.
The Curly building on Washington Avenue, a 7-story office building with Buddy's Wine Bar and Bistro on the ground floor, could be sold at a city land tax sale. The owner owes the city more than $326,000. Property was built in 1899 for the Curly Clothing Company.
It is 6:08, and we will come back with traffic and weather. Stay with us here on Total Information AM.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/Mike.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying. Just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline nasal spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
This hour of Total Information AM is sponsored by Gamma Tree Experts.
At 6:10, let's see what the roads look like. Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, Scott, we still have our only trouble spot out there so far this morning, although I'm just hearing on another possible trouble spot on northbound 55 at M. It sounds like it's on the on-ramp from M, so we'll try to check on that. But the one we have actively working is the crash westbound 7 east of Bermuda. EMS crews showed up at the top of the hour. They're only there for a few minutes, so that's good news. No real serious injuries, obviously, maybe no injuries at all. Now they're just waiting for tow trucks. The two left lanes remain closed. Westbound 70 before Bermuda, and traffic is jammed back to about Lucas Hunt on westbound 70, on westbound 70. On eastbound 70, I'm back to seeing a little bit of a slowdown right through that area before the Wright City Rest area on eastbound 70 in the construction zone. Just pay attention. Haven't heard of any issues there, but nonetheless, it is a little busy there once again. Otherwise, the rest of these highways are in great shape so far. Next update at 6:20 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Breezy today and not as cold as yesterday with intervals of cloud and sun. Watch out for a shower in spots toward evening, the high 47. A couple of evening snow showers, mostly cloudy, brisk and colder overnight, low 22. Tomorrow, breezy and much colder with clouds and some intervals of sun, the high just 27. But AccuWeather real field temperatures no better than the teens. For Sunday, partly sunny and breezy, not quite as cold in the afternoon, high 36. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
We have clear skies now in downtown St. Louis. It's 32 degrees.
Can you believe that the Los Angeles Dodgers are getting Kyle Tucker? How much money are they actually paying him? Oh, my goodness. I'm Brian Feldman. Sports coming up in 2 minutes.
It is 6:12. Mississippi County, Missouri taxpayers have been overcharged for years, according to a new report.
A new state audit says residents in the southeast Missouri County have been overtaxed by about $172,000 since 2016. State Auditor Scott Fitzpatrick says weak controls and poor oversight put taxpayer money and property at risk. The audit also found constitutional violations and budgeting problems that led to nearly $290,000 in overspending. County officials say they'll make improvements. Matt Pilger, Missouri Net.
Are social media apps intentionally designed to addict children? That was the central question from Missouri's Eric Schmidt during a Senate hearing on youth mental health. Psychologist Dr. Jean Twenge responded that yes, TikTok's own internal research proves they are capitalizing on the fact that kids simply aren't built to resist these apps yet.
TikTok in particular, their internal research, they know that is especially effective with children and young teens because of brain development and impulse control. They have the biggest problem with spending an excessive amount of time.
So it would be your testimony that they know not just that they can sell more ads, but they know that this is harmful to kids.
That is with the internal research that they have done, as well as the external academic research shows, yes.
Yeah.
Schmidt says while regulating adult speech is difficult, Congress should have a mandate to protect children.
Meanwhile, Illinois Senator Tammy Duckworth tells a housing summit that for families like hers who grew up poor, the biggest hurdle to home ownership is just getting that first foot in the door. She says the VA home loan allowed her to buy a house with no money down, and that changed her family's trajectory.
That experience of, oh, now we have some equity, some capital in the family, and that was the first step in my family on either side towards actual home ownership and owning something. And so I want that for everyone.
Duckworth says rising costs are now putting that first step out of reach for too many Americans.
2 Chicago dogs will be featured in this year's Puppy Bowl. One Tail at a Time has 2 puppies competing for the Lombardi Trophy this year.
Again, Allie Rooney says they've been participating in the Puppy Bowl since 2017, and every year they enter a few of their adorable rescues.
These 2 particular puppies were found as strays in Arkansas. Susie is, she's an all black dog, looks like a lab mix. She is very, very excited when she sees other dogs. Augie is black and white. He's more of like a hound mix.
Susie and Augie will make their debuts on Sunday, February 9th. That's Super Bowl Sunday at 1 p.m. on Animal Planet.
At first, when I saw 2 Chicago dogs, I immediately thought hot dogs because we have been
talking about food and I've been
morning.
Starving, and now I thought the exact same thing.
Poppy seed bun,
a little neon relish.
Oh my gosh, somebody better bring us food.
We're not cooking actual dogs.
No, but actually, I am all about the puppies. It is 6:15.
Good morning. I'm Brian Feldman filling in for Tom Ackerman. Let's start with some baseball where the rich just keep on getting richer. The World Series champion Los Angeles Dodgers nabbed the top free agent available on the market, outfielder Kyle Tucker. It's worth a reported 4 years, $240 million with opt-outs after years 2 and 3. Tucker starred for the Cubs last year after 7 seasons in Houston. The soon-to-be 29-year-old had an .841 OPS for Chicago last year, 22 home runs, 25 stolen bases. He now joins a lineup that already features Shohei Ohtani, Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, Will Smith, and Max Muncy. More baseball news. Just a day after trading Nolan Arenado to the Diamondbacks, the Cardinals announced its 2026 international signing class, and this one's marked by 2 headliners who should eventually be near the top of the Cardinals prospect rankings. Outfielder Emmanuel Luna got a reported $2.3 million bonus, while shortstop Carlos Carrion got a reported $1.1 million. International players eligible to sign once they turn 17 years old. College hoops, the St. Louis Billikens men's basketball team off today, but face Richmond tomorrow afternoon at Chaffetz Arena. SLU 16-1 this year, 4-0 at A-10 play. Its only loss coming to Stanford, and that was by 1 point. Robbie Avila leading the team with 13 points per game on better than 50% shooting. Also tomorrow, Mizzou travels to LSU for a date with the Tigers, and the 13th-ranked Illinois Fighting Illini host Minnesota in Champaign. On the ice, the Blues host the Lightning tonight at Enterprise Center, face-off set for 7. The Blues did snap a 3-game losing streak Tuesday with a 3-0 win over the Hurricanes, but they still sit in second-to-last place in the Central Division, just above Winnipeg. Tampa Bay, meanwhile, it's the top team in the Eastern Conference, currently on an 11-game win streak, so will be a tough matchup. To football, the NFL playoffs resume this weekend with the divisional round. The Bills and Broncos face off at 3:30 tomorrow, followed by the 49ers and Seahawks at 7. Then on Sunday, it's Texans-Patriots at 2, Rams versus the Bears at 5:30. Then on Monday, it's college football's national championship. 10th-seeded Miami trying to shock the world and take down number 1 Indiana. The Hoosiers unbeaten this season at 15-0. With reports at 15:45 past the hour, I'm Brian Feldman on your home for St. Louis Cardinals baseball, KMOX.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I dared Archwell Health to keep track of my vitals and my grandkids' names.
I dared Archwell Health to simplify my prescriptions, so Max and I have more time to play. Good boy.
And I dared Archwell Health to be closer than my neighborhood coffee shop.
Our members dared us to do more as a primary care provider for adults age 60 and up. So we made it our mission. Visit archwellhealth.com and become a member today. Archwell Health. We dare to care.
Total Information AM on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
It is 6:20. Roger Brand watching the roads for us from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, Scott, Highway 70 is where we're seeing delays currently, both directions. We have a crash. I've been talking about the one westbound 70 east of Bermuda. The 2 left lanes are still shut down westbound 70. Traffic's a solid jam back about midway between Jennings Station and Lucas Hunt right now on westbound 70. Up to that one, again, the left lanes are closed. They're waiting for tow trucks. And then eastbound 70, seeing more of a delay, more of a backup building in that area approaching the Wright City Rest area, eastbound 70 in that work zone. So it's about midway back to Warrenton there on eastbound 70. So that delay is growing as well. And I can kind of see this crash that's reported northbound 55 at M. It's at the Highway M exit. It's a car that reportedly struck a pole. So it looks like it's in the exit, on the exit ramp. You can get around it and still get off at Highway M. So I don't think the through lanes are blocked. And I'm really not seeing anything more than a brief slowdown there on North 55 right now. Next update is 6:30 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Sponsored by Gloria Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty 314-325-6888.
Need to sell your home and you want the most money? The name to remember is Gloria Lou. Yes, Gloria Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty at 314-325-6888 and start packing.
It is going to be not bad today, honestly. A high of 47 degrees, breezy with sun and clouds. We could see a shower towards evening, and that might turn into some snow showers. Otherwise, it's just going to be kind of cold overnight, 22, and not much warmer tomorrow, getting up to just 27 degrees with sun and clouds. It's going to feel tomorrow like it's in the teens with the wind. 32 and clear right now.
The news continues at 6:22. St. Louis area native Matthew Tkachuk posed with President Trump at the White House Thursday for a second straight year because his Florida Panthers repeated as Stanley Cup champions. Tkachuk and teammates told Mr. Trump,
like Vinny said, we are not stopping now. We hope to be here next year. So that's the plan. And, representing you and the millions back here next month in the Olympics will be one of the highlights of my life as well. So thank you.
Matthew and his brother Brady are both on the U.S. Olympic hockey team, as is Metro East native Clayton Keller.
A former Missouri Attorney General and current FBI Deputy Director spoke Thursday about the point-shaving scandal rocking men's college basketball. And according to the indictment, involved former St. Louis University Billikens player Bradley Ezewiro, among others. Here's what Andrew Bailey had to say about it.
I want my presence here to emphasize the FBI's role in the investigation of a point-shaving and sports bribery conspiracy that spanned multiple years, crossed state lines, and extended internationally, involving NCAA men's college basketball programs. An investigation that led to the indictments that we've announced today. I'll take the next few minutes to reaffirm the FBI's unwavering commitment to protecting the American people and highlight the exceptional work of the FBI teams whose dedication and professionalism made these indictments possible. Over the past 2 years, the FBI's Philadelphia field office has conducted a wide-ranging investigation into a point-shaving conspiracy involving at least 15 NCAA men's college basketball teams. To date, several individuals have already been charged and held accountable. Today, as a result of the exemplary work of our Philadelphia field office, 20 additional defendants were indicted for their alleged roles in this scheme. Those who believed they could operate in the shadows, defraud the public, and escape justice were wrong. The Department of Justice and this FBI will not tolerate the exploitation of the American institutions for criminal profit, nor will we allow victims of this crime, the fans who fill the arenas, the students and alumni who believe in fair competition, and the American public who expect integrity in the institutions they love, to be denied justice. I'm proud to stand here today because of the outstanding work of the men and women of the FBI Philadelphia field office who led this investigation. I also want to thank our outstanding partners at the U.S. Attorney's Office for their leadership, coordination, and courage to bring the wrongdoers to justice. I want to recognize the critical support of all FBI field offices that contributed to this case. This case represents a powerful example of what coordinated law enforcement can accomplish. When individuals choose to manipulate fair competition, they do more than commit financial crimes. They erode confidence in institutions that bring Americans together. The FBI exists to protect that trust, and when it is abused, we act.
Verizon is offering credits to customers who were impacted by Wednesday's service outage.
Verizon says it did not meet the standard of excellence its customers expect Wednesday. To get their $20 credit, customers have to log on to the My Verizon app and accept it. The cause of the outage is still a mystery.
I think it's another reminder that these networks are more fragile than we think.
Lance Ulanoff is editor-at-large at Tech Radar.
The redundancy of these systems is still probably not where it needs to be.
Verizon says customers who are still having problems should restart their phones to reconnect to the network. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
These days, weightlifters aren't the only ones seeing the benefits of using creatine.
Once confined to weightlifters at the gym, now creatine is seen as much more mainstream. Dr. Human Malamed is a board-certified orthopedic spine surgeon. He says creatine is worth using unless you have kidney problems.
There's actually has been potential benefits in terms of preventing neurodegenerative disorders like Parkinson's, maybe Huntington disease, Alzheimer's. It's been shown to have some neuroprotective properties as well.
Add to that potential benefits in brain health, mood, and aging. Dr. Malamed says our bodies naturally make creatine from amino acids. In fact, we get about 1 to 2 grams per day from foods such as meat and fish.
Chris Sedens for WWJ News Radio 950.
Hundreds of thousands of mini fridges have been recalled due to fire hazard. We get more from CBS's Jesse Mitchell.
Curtis International is expanding a recall to include more than 300,000 Frigidaire mini fridges after they've been linked to at least 6 fires with property damage. The Consumer Product Safety Commission says the mini fridges' electrical components could short circuit, and it's urging owners to unplug and immediately stop using the product, which was sold exclusively by Target.
It is now 6:27. That time check sponsored by Jerry Kelley Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up. Neovitin began with one doctor's mission to help others feel their best. After years of caring for patients, Dr. Ken Ribicki, a St. Louis physician, created Neovitin, a line of multivitamins designed with quality, safety, and everyday wellness in mind. Each formula is made in the U.S. using the finest domestic and international ingredients to support real people living real lives. Discover the difference today with Neovitin, available at Schnucks, Dierbergs, and neovitin.com. Neovitin, trusted nutrition from St. Louis for St. Louis.
Hey, Cardinal Cowboy here. Who would have thought a car crash would have led to charities, TV shows, and cheering with the best fans in the world? I'm thankful for every day. And so are my friends at Renner Garage Door. They've been turning garage doors from zero to hero since 1966. With help from trusted brands like Delden, Amar, and LiftMaster, honest family-style service you can count on. So giddy up and get your free repair or replacement quote today. Giddy up!
RENNER, RENNER.
Attention, have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10, $20, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-207-4545. That's 800-207-4545. Once again, that's 800-207-4545.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends at Cantor Injury Law. So as you know, I'm a lawyer, haven't practiced in a long time, but I did plaintiff's work and defense work, so I have a pretty good understanding of it. I have a pretty good idea of who's who in the firmament of plaintiffs' attorneys. And for my money, Mark Cantor is the guy. He's a great attorney. He is a great practitioner. He's put together a great team. He was born and raised here. He lives here. He works here. He wins here. Call 314-628-ALL-9s or CantorInjuryLaw.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based on advertising. I'm Dave Glover, and I see clearly now thanks to the doctors, Dr. Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, and Andy Royer. You can too. Just go to youridoc.com.
A new season, new faces, a new direction. The road to the 2026 St. Louis Cardinals season begins at the Cardinals Care Winter Warm-Up, January 17th and 18th at Busch Stadium in Ballpark Village. The Cards are building for the future, and KMOX has exclusive coverage starting at 10 a.m. Saturday and Sunday. Hear from players, alumni, and Cardinals leadership about what's ahead. Exclusive coverage of the Cardinals Care Winter Warm-Up on the voice of the Cardinals, KMOX.
At 6:30, it's clear, and the temperature 33 degrees downtown at the Gateway Arch. Good morning. I'm Scott Jagow.
I'm Debbie Monterrey, and here's Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, Debbie, down to just still looks like having the left lane blocked now. The two left lanes were blocked earlier for this crash. We've been talking about westbound 70 east of Bermuda, but still lane restrictions, so there's still a jam, and the jam goes back through Lucas Hunt, about midway back to Jennings Station on westbound 70. Eastbound 70 not slowing for a look at all through that area. It looks great. Now, eastbound 70 out west where we had a bigger delay, maybe it was a stall because now it doesn't look as bad. Eastbound 70, just a brief slowdown between Warrenton and the Wright City Rest area. And emergency crews are on the scene 55 with this crash at the M exit where a car took out a light pole. They do have the right lane block now, I can see. So there's a little bit of a jam up north 55 as you approach that crash scene. But after that, it's just a little slow from Bayless up to River to Pear and Loughborough up to Virginia. There's a couple little busy spots running through that stretch. Next update at 6:40 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Your weather forecast, breezy, not as cold today, but the cold front is coming. We're going to have a mix of clouds and sun, maybe a shower toward the evening, and then even later we could have a snow shower. Temperatures today about 47, but dropping to 22. Then tomorrow only getting to 27. It'll feel like the teens. 36 on Sunday, and only 23 on Monday, feeling like single digits. It's 34 right now at St. Peter's, same in Florissant, 33 downtown at the Arch.
Riverview Mayor Mike Cornell Jr. has been arrested and faces multiple counts of statutory sodomy, harassment, and possession of child pornography. Prosecutors accuse Cornell of assaulting two minors between 2016 and 17 and sexually assaulting another victim this past December. St. Louis County Lieutenant Colonel Jerry Lohr says Mayor Cornell abused his position of power to entice his victims.
To those of us that are in positions of authority, when we abuse that position of authority, it ruins the trust that the public has placed in us.
Cornell is being held on $1 million cash-only bond.
A makeshift warming shelter in a homeless camp has drawn ire from the city over its lack of safety. So are they tearing it down?
Hopefully we can get some grace from just until it get cold, until it get warm outside, get some grace.
Marianne Johnson, a carpenter by trade who built the structure. It resembles a shipping container, is made of wood, wrapped in old billboard banners, and warmed by a propane heater. He's receiving that grace from Mayor Kara Spencer as protesters chant outside her door.
It is not our intention to demolish the structure today or in the immediate future. We are directly and going to be engaging with the folks who built it to try to make it safer.
However, citing a lack of egress points, CO2 detectors, and the combination of wood and propane flames, she's not recommending anyone use the shelter.
As a human being and as the mayor, I'm encouraging folks to stay warm in other ways, just recognizing the danger of the structure itself.
Sean Malone, KMOX News.
Get your flu shot. That's the advice from Dr. Kanika Cunningham, St. Louis County Director of Public Health. The rate of flu in our community is currently very high.
And I want to take the opportunity right now to talk to our community about the recent changes the CDC announced regarding the childhood vaccine schedule. As a physician and mother, these recommendations are not rooted in science. Ask any parent who has sat with their baby in the emergency department with RSV or even with influenza. It's scary and it's an unnecessary risk.
Cunningham says if you have questions, talk to your doctor.
The news is sponsored by Michael's Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts, michaelsflooringoutlet.com. Coming up next, your money report. It is 6:34.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6986. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
It is 6:35. You're listening to Total Information AM. I'm Debbie Monterrey along with Scott Jagow. We'll check traffic and weather for you in just 5 minutes, but right now it's time for your money report, sponsored by Eamon, Gantner, and Capriano, elder law attorneys.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. The biggest banks in the country cut their headcount last year by the most in almost a decade. The 6 largest firms, JP Morgan, Bank of America, Citigroup, Wells Fargo, Goldman Sachs, and Morgan Stanley, eliminated about 10,600 jobs last year. The last time the group cut so many positions was in 2016. Efficiency is the name of the game on Wall Street these days. The question has evolved into how artificial intelligence might replace humans. Turning to trading, stocks are looking at another day of gains on the continuing wave of enthusiasm for technology stocks. S&P futures are up 19 points. And Venezuela's oil industry is running its day-to-day operations through phone calls and handwritten reports in the months since a cyber attack on the country's state-owned oil company. Internal email is also down, restricting official communication. Employees turning to WhatsApp and Gmail instead. The cyber attack has also slowed payments to contractors and employees. Courtney Donahoe, Bloomberg Radio.
I do appreciate all the referrals that we receive daily. It is phenomenal. I've said it. I can't say it enough how much I do appreciate the referrals. With that being said, if you do refer me, you're in great hands. I will not sell homeowners that work hard for their money, just like myself, crap that they do not need. But if you want good quality, man, you can't even say cheap anymore. I don't think I can even say cheap by you can't even go by price. Okay, that's another commercial. Call me, Bart Inman, one easy number, Missouri and Illinois, 314-293-2600. Remember, it's the only number, Missouri and Illinois, 314-293-2600 or BartInman.com. Now that's Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It's your captain speaking. To the passenger with the Mirror Fast soft shoes, smart move.
No way am I letting travel constipation ruin this trip.
Can't blame you. Mirror Fast works fast, but without the harsh side effects.
Since I'm such a smart traveler, can I move to first class?
No. Close the curtain, girl.
From the makers of Miralax, new MiraFast soft chews work naturally with your body in as little as 30 minutes to give you a comfortable go on the go. Find MiraFast today at your local retailer. Use as directed for occasional constipation. Contains magnesium hydroxide.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. My best advice to you when hiring a lawyer for your injury case is simple. If you know court personnel, ask them who they'd hire. They know. If you know an insurance adjuster, ask them. They know. And then ask them about us. Ask them about Morgan & Morgan. They know. I look forward to talking to you soon. There's only one Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, for the people. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's Best Eggs. They're just so delicious with better nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Get ready for men's Billikens basketball Saturday afternoon as they face Richmond. Pregame 2:45, tip at 3 on your home for Billikens basketball. KMOX.
It is 6:39. There's something else named after President Trump.
On Friday, President Donald Trump plans to attend a ceremony in Florida that dedicates a 4-mile stretch of road from the airport to his Mar-a-Lago estate as President Donald J. Trump Boulevard. It's another on a list of things named after the president. His name has been put on the U.S. Institute of Peace, the Kennedy Center, and a new class of battleships. Some critics say memorializations are supposed to honor those who have passed. Supporters say the tributes are well-deserved, and New York Republican Representative Claudia Tenney wants to designate June 14th as Trump's birthday and Flag Day. Florida Republican Representative Greg Steube has introduced legislation calling for the Washington area rapid transit system to be called the Trump train. And North Carolina Republican Representative Addison McDowell is proposing renaming Washington Dulles International Airport to Donald J. Trump International Airport. Donna Warder, Washington.
6:40 in time for traffic and weather. Roger Brand has the latest on your ride in from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, W, we've got issues on Highway 70. We've been talking about this crash westbound 70 east of Bermuda. Left lane still closed, only left lane though, but it's still backed up between Jennings Station and Lucas Hunt. We've had a police pursuit in the last 10 minutes since we last spoke. Speeds of over 120 miles an hour in spots. It was on 370 when they started chasing it. Got onto Highway 70. They tried to spike it at Bryan Road, and unfortunately, they ended up spiking the state trooper's car. So he's over under the shoulder with flat tires, and the car may have gotten away. They think it exited at Lake St. Louis Boulevard, some kind of a dark vehicle. So there's a lot of police activity in the area. Just pay attention. If you're on 70, could be either way now. The vehicle may have tried to turn around and go back eastbound. Northbound 55, have that crash at the exit to Highway M. There's a heavy slowdown there. They have the right lane blocked. It's a little busy. Bayless up to River to Pear after that. And North 270 is a little slow at 64. Westbound 70, some slow stuff west of Wentzville Parkway. Next update at 6:50 for the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
It is 6:42. Time to check in with our AccuWeather meteorologist, Joe Lundberg. It's going to be pretty chilly over the next few days. Give us some details, Joe.
Yeah, just waves of cold that just keep coming in. We had a cold day yesterday. The cold eases up today ahead of another cold front. That front arrives this evening. Ahead of it, clouds, some sunshine, a gusty breeze. We get up to about 47. And as the front moves in, there could be a shower this evening, maybe a snow shower overnight. But after midnight, I think most of those are gone, and it turns colder, the low 22. Tomorrow, breezy and much colder, about 20 degrees colder, in fact, with clouds, some sun, and a high just 27. And AccuWeather real field temperatures only in the teens. Sunday, the cold eases, partly sunny. We get up to 36. Another front comes through Sunday night. Monday will be mostly sunny, brisk, and bitterly cold, or high 23. It'll feel like it's in the single digits. Tuesday, mostly sunny with a high rebounding toward 40. Right now, 35 degrees at St. Peter's, 36 in Florissant, partly cloudy, 35 downtown at the Arch. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Big weekend in sports coming up. College hoops, some hockey with the Blues, and how about some NFL playoff action? Should be fun. We'll preview it all. I'm Brian Feldman. Coming up in sports at 6:45.
It's now 6:43. A woman in Minneapolis says law enforcement agents looking for a firearm stolen from an FBI vehicle during Wednesday's protest busted through her door, tore through her apartment when documents they left behind show they were meant to search the unit above hers. We get more from CBS Minneapolis reporter Uba Ali.
This is the moment it begins. Ring video shows law enforcement officers with long guns moving in, busting through the door before entering this South Minneapolis apartment building. The Hennepin County Sheriff's Office say they were executing multiple search warrants for a firearm stolen from a federal vehicle Wednesday night. Another angle shows officers inside searching this unit before taking the camera down.
A federal judge has blocked the Trump administration from getting a copy of California's voter rolls.
The Justice Department asked all states to hand over their voter rolls last year, but only 10 agreed to do so. The judge in the California case found the administration has no authority to gain access to voter rolls. Maine Secretary of State Shenna Bellows refused to hand over her state's rolls.
Why on earth should the federal government, who has no role in election administrations, be compiling a federal voter file for every voter in our nation?
The Justice Department has not said if it will appeal the California ruling. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
The United States and Taiwan have struck a new trade deal that has irritated China. BBC News North America business correspondent Samira Hussein has more on what both sides get in this agreement.
The investment by Taiwanese semiconductor and technology companies will help achieve the U.S. goal of bringing 40% of Taiwan's building capacity to the U.S. So what does Taiwan get in return? Well, it gets a big reprieve from the Trump administration's reciprocal tariffs, which will now be capped at 15%.
Good morning. I'm Brian Feldman filling in for Tom Ackerman. College hoops, the St. Louis Billikens men's basketball team off today, but face Richmond tomorrow afternoon at Chaffetz Arena. SLU 16-1 this year so far, 4-0 in A-10 play. The only loss coming to Stanford, and that was by 1. Robbie Avila leading the team with nearly 13 points per game. As a team, though, the Billikens averaging better than 90 a game. That's 11th best in the country. Also tomorrow, Mizzou travels to LSU for a date with the Tigers, and the 13th-ranked Illinois Fighting Illini host Minnesota in Champaign. On the women's side, SLU, Mizzou, and Illinois off till Sunday. That's where the Billikens host Dayton at 2. The Tigers travel to Florida, and the 25th-ranked Fighting Illini host Northwestern. On the ice, the Blues host the Lightning tonight at Enterprise Center. Face-off set for 7. The Blues did snap a 3-game losing streak on Tuesday. That was a 3-0 win over the Hurricanes, but they're still in second-to-last place in the Central Division, 44 points, just above Winnipeg's 43. Tampa Bay, meanwhile, well, that's the top team in the Eastern Conference and currently riding an 11-game winning streak. Will be a very tough game for sure. On to baseball, the World Series champion Los Angeles Dodgers nabbed the top free agent available on the market, outfielder Kyle Tucker. It's worth a reported 4 years, $240 million. Tucker starred for the Cubs last year after 7 seasons in Houston. More baseball news. Just a day after trading Nolan Arenado to the Diamondbacks, the Cardinals announced its 2026 international signing class. And this one's marked by 2 headliners who could move up the prospect rankings in due time. Outfielder Emmanuel Luna and shortstop Carlos Carrion. They each got a combined reported $3.4 million together. In football, the NFL playoffs resume this weekend with the divisional round. Bills and Broncos face off tomorrow. That's at 3:30. It's followed by the 49ers and Seahawks at 7. Then on Sunday, Texans, Patriots at 2 o'clock. Rams, Bears at 5:30. And then on Monday, it's college football's national championship. 10th seeded Miami trying to shock the world and take down number 1 Indiana. The Hoosiers unbeaten this season at 15-0, winning both playoff games by more than 30. Keep in mind, this game in Miami at Hard Rock Stadium, so the Hurricanes do get a de facto home game in the national championship. Elsewhere in college football, Oklahoma announces star quarterback John Mateer will return for his final season of eligibility this fall. He opts not to go into the NFL draft. Mateer threw for nearly 3,000 yards this past season, leading the Sooners to the college football playoff. With reports at 15 and 45 past the hour, I'm Brian Feldman. On your home for St. Louis Cardinals baseball, KMOX.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Mark?
I've been doing home remodeling for 30 plus years, but the economy crashed. I wound up losing my home, losing my job, and on top of that, owing the IRS a ton of money. I owed the IRS $114,000. It really, truly was the worst part of my life.
Then Mark found tax relief advocates.
On news radio, I heard about TRA. And I thought, what's the worst that could happen? So I picked up the phone and I called them. When it was all said and done, TRA settled my $114,000 debt for $100. And I'm telling you, I was ecstatic. Could not believe it. Would recommend TRA to anyone.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Mark did and call TRA for a consultation.
But TRA did. They gave me a second chance, and I'm forever grateful.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-491-9914. 800-491-9914. That's 800-491-9914.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan with McKelvey Homes. The wait is over, and we are now selling at the Reserve at Wildwood. The early bird gets the worm, so call today and pick the home of your dreams at the coveted Wildwood Town Center, located at Highway 100 and 109. You will love the design of the Reserve with its extensive trails and wooded common ground and a park-like setting. Select from our popular Liberty or luxurious designer series homes from the 560s. Visit McKelveyHomes.com and move up to McKelvey.
They're back and bringing all the hits.
This is Rascal Flatts.
Rascal Flatts, live at Enterprise Center, January 17th. Sing along to all of their best songs. One night, one stage. All the songs you love. Tickets still available at Ticketmaster.com. For more information, KMOX.com/events.
Total Information AM on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
It is 6:50. Roger Brand is in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, we've been busy this morning, especially on Highway 70, Scott. In fact, we have still have our original crash out there, and the left lane still shut down westbound 70 before Bermuda. Traffic's a solid jam back west of Jennings Station up to that scene. There's some slow traffic both ways on 70 around Bryan Road, Lake St. Louis. Westbound is where we had a high-speed pursuit. It actually began on 370. They accidentally spiked the state trooper's car, so he ended up on the shoulder with flat tires, and that's what the activity is about there. They did not catch it last check, that vehicle. And then westbound 70, we had an incident. Looks like it's back cleared now, but the right lane was closed midway between Wentzville and David Hochul Parkway. There's still a jam at Wentzville Parkway on westbound 70 up to that point. Eastbound 70 is also heavy through K to TR Hughes. Northbound 270, Manchester up to 64 slow. North 55 still a backup approaching M. The right lane was blocked for a crash that was at the exit there. After that, though, it looks like you're in good shape headed into the city. Next update at 6:58 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Brought to you by Eamon Gantner and Capriano, YourEstateMatters.com. Hi, Margaret with Eamon Gantner and Capriano. Before you packed your child off to college, did you get a power of attorney for them? Eamon Gantner and Capriano, YourEstateMatters.com.
The choice of an attorney is an important decision and shouldn't be based solely on advertising.
It's going to be a pretty nice day today, and enjoy it because it'll be about, much, much colder tomorrow and into the weekend. Today's high 47 degrees, and we'll have a mix of clouds and sun, although we could see a shower towards evening. That shower could turn into some snow showers because we'll have an overnight low of 22. And then it doesn't get much warmer than that tomorrow. Breezy with some clouds and sun, and a high tomorrow of 27, but it's going to feel like it's in the teens, those real feel temperatures. Right now it's partly cloudy and 32 downtown.
Missouri Senator Eric Schmidt led a Commerce Committee hearing focused on the dangers of social media algorithms posed to children. He questioned experts on why platforms are so aggressive with advertising to young audiences. Dr. Jenny Radeski of the University of Michigan says ads are exploiting the fact that digital devices have become the modern babysitter.
Parents of young children are exhausted, and so they use YouTube to occupy kids. And so there's tons of ad space to be filled.
Radeski warns that creators are now using AI to mass produce nursery rhymes specifically to capture that ad revenue.
A pair of U.S. senators settle a bet over the Chicago Bears versus Green Bay Packers playoff game. We get more from WBBM's Terry Keshner.
Illinois Senator Tammy Duckworth and Wisconsin Senator Tammy Baldwin went to social media before last weekend's big game for a friendly wager.
You know the deal. If the Packers win, you have to wear this. I think it still might be warm from the last time you had to wear it.
Well, if the Bears win, you have to wear this jersey. I think orange and blue will look great on you.
Yes, the losing lawmaker had to wear the other team's jersey, so Senator Baldwin, though she apparently waited until yesterday, finally did post a photo of herself wearing that Bears jersey, giving 2 thumbs down with the caption, "As much as this pains me, Senator Duckworth, a deal's a deal, but the Bears still suck."
All right, deal.
Terry Keshner, 105.9 WBBM.
A college class takes inspiration from a hit streaming series We get more from Deborah Rodriguez.
Every dime you ever made, I pumped it out of the ground.
Texas Christian University's Business School is offering an 8-week course inspired by Paramount Plus Landman, starring Billy Bob Thornton. The show, produced by CBS's parent company, Paramount Skydance, the focus, the professionals who negotiate land and mineral rights for energy companies. Professor Tom Sang says members of the American Association of Professional Landmen will do most of the teaching to prepare the next generation to step into the oil patch.
If you want to fight about it, lawyer up, big boy.
Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Students at TCU have been tuning into Landman.
Connect Safely report. As you may have heard, there was a major Verizon cell phone outage that affected millions of people. It's not the first time a major network has gone down, and it's probably not the last. So here's some advice if it happens again. First, confirm it's really an outage. Ask others who use the same carrier if they're having a problem, or if you're nearby, try to visit one of the carrier's stores. Sometimes, even when calls can't get through, you can still text, so try that. And if Wi-Fi is available, you can communicate via email or maybe text or even voice. Conserve power by using low power mode, dimming your screen, and avoiding constantly searching for a signal. And you might consider a backup strategy, such as a relatively inexpensive UMA internet phone system for your home. With the Connect Safely report, I'm Larry Magid for CBS News.
I heard it's somebody's birthday.
Birthday excitement. It's your birthday.
Today's KMOX birthday shout out sponsored by Renner Garage Door, RENNER, forward and back, family owned and top rated. RennerDoorSTL.com. On this January 16th, Debbie Allen of Fame is 76. Fun fact, she directed several episodes of Grey's Anatomy. Halloween director John Carpenter is 78. Sade is 67. And Ronnie Millsap's 83.
Local celebrity birthdays include David Kramer and Les Weimerslage from the Life Group. Debbie Quantham from the Spring family. Happy birthday to Gabe Hartwig at the Muni. Marshall Cohen. Todd D. Rutz. Happy birthday from Lynn. Also in O'Fallon, Illinois, happy birthday wishes going out to Tony Korig and Sandra Combs. Mike Schmidt from the Game Night and Beth Majors from Your Cousins.
This is the best birthday ever.
In St. Louis, the weather can change in an instant. One day, you're under a thunderstorm warning. The next,
oh boy, it's snowing.
Stay prepared for whatever Mother Nature throws your way. When weather threatens, the KMOX Storm Center has expert forecasts and live reports here to keep you safe and informed. Don't get caught off guard. Know your weather. Sponsored by
Saliga Heating and Cooling.
Hey guys, are you dealing with low energy, weight gain, or issues in the bedroom? Well, Game Day Men's Health is the premier men's health clinic in the St. Louis area with locations in Chesterfield and O'Fallon, Missouri. They specialize in low testosterone and sexual health, but they also help men and women with medical weight loss, vitamins, and peptides. They offer free consultations and testosterone tests with results in about 20 minutes. So get in, get answers, and get back to the top of your game with Game Day Men's Health. Visit GameDayMen'sHealth.com.
Retiring soon? Get the information you need by joining Kyle Jones and Matt Allgeier of Fire Capital Management for your retirement highway, Sunday mornings at 9:30. Investment advisory services made available through Pine Ridge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Securities made available through AE Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at LanceDRURYLaw.com.
Hey, Happy New Year, big boy. Hey, what's up, Izzy? Also known as the Kool-Aid Man. You got any New Year's resolutions? I got one, Eddie. I've promised myself to spend more time on that toasty, warm, huge, heated outdoor patio of yours. It's nothing like having your coat off, drinking the coldest beer in town with hundreds of your family, friends. Man, it is a toasted patio, and that's a great resolution. And, thanks for not mentioning things like weight loss and health kick. And those would be hard in Fast Eddie's. It'd be hard to lose any kind of weight or take away from anything when you got the 5-pound Fat Eddie burger, the hot chick on a stick, that big Elwood on a stick, and those succulent peel and eat shrimp. Yeah, I am not losing any weight hanging around your place. I learned it's a lot easier just to make those resolutions simple and fun, buddy. Man, and that's easy. You're right. That's a great resolution. So make your resolution fun and head on over to Fast Eddie's Bon Air. You know where to go across that big, beautiful Clark Bridge and come into Alton, Illinois. So like Mr. Shannon always said, if you're 21 and in the mood, we'll see you at Fast Eddie's Bon Air. Kool-Aid Man.
It is a minute before 7. Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, Scott, good news on westbound 70 at Bermuda or east of Bermuda. They cleared that crash. Lanes are open. The delays have thinned out. Now 70 out to the west of us. We've still got issues on eastbound Highway 70. There's a crash reported near TR Hughes. You're backed up at Bryan Road, bumper pockets running through there. They cleared that incident that was westbound 70 past Wentzville Parkway. So everything's back on the go through that area, at least right now. Also, 364 at Upper Bottom, there's a report of a crash. Not seeing any delays there. We also have one reported northbound 270 at 64 in a traffic lane. North 270 is a solid jam right now at Manchester because of that one. We keep normally Friday mornings are light, but not so this morning. They cleared the crash. North 55 at Highway M, at least the lanes are back open, just barely a slowdown through there. And the delays we had, Bayless up across the river to Pear have dissipated. And so far, so good. It's been a good morning downtown, westbound. No delays across the Poplar or Musel Veterans Bridges so far. Next update at 7:10 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
The trusted voice of St. Louis. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. CBS News is confirming CIA Director John Ratcliffe has just wrapped up a 2-hour meeting with Venezuela's interim president, Delcy Rodriguez. It comes a day after a woman who wants to lead the country met with President Trump. Correspondent Nancy Cordes from Washington.
Maria Corina Machado waved to supporters as she left the White House Thursday after giving President Trump a very unique gift.
I presented the President of the United States the medal of the Nobel Peace Prize.
Machado's party claimed victory in the 2024 elections. But when the U.S. military seized Venezuelan dictator Nicolas Maduro 2 weeks ago, Trump backed Vice President Delcy Rodriguez to take over on an interim basis, not Machado.
CIA Director Ratcliffe is the first cabinet-level official to visit Venezuela since Maduro's ouster. In Minnesota, anti-ICE protesters taking no heed of President Trump's threat to take action to send in military troops to the city to quell tensions. There's newly released information on the deadly shooting of a protesting driver. Correspondent Matt Gutman.
That fire department report shows that Renee Good was shot 4 times. Those gunshot wounds, 2 to the chest, 1 to the forearm, another to the head. That is, Governor Tim Walz has said that he has been trying to reach out to President Trump, has asked him to, quote, turn down the temperature.
A federal judge has blocked the administration from getting a copy of California's voter rolls.
The Justice Department asked all states to hand over their voter rolls last year, but only 10 agreed to do so. The judge in the California case found the administration has no authority to gain access to voter rolls. Maine Secretary of State Shenna Bellows refused to hand over her state's rolls.
Why on earth should the federal government, who has no role in election administrations, be compiling a federal voter file for every voter in our nation?
The Justice Department has not said if it will appeal the California ruling. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
A betting scandal rocks college basketball. FBI Special Agent in Charge, Wayne Jacobs.
The crimes alleged are not victimless. This was a calculated scheme designed to manipulate outcomes, deceive fans, corrupt athletes, and undermine credibility.
20 current and former players are charged with a scheme to fix games. Dodgers just got a big boost in their quest for a 3rd straight championship.
And that is hammered. Right field, way back, forget it. Kyle Tucker will touch them all.
LA signing prize-free agent outfielder Kyle Tucker to a mammoth 4-year, $240 million contract. He joins Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, and others there. This is CBS News.
Follow and listen to the official 48 Hours After Show post-mortem on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it.
And now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay, things people love.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy place, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
It is 7:04, and right now in downtown St. Louis, we have mostly cloudy skies, 32 degrees. I'm Debbie Monterrey.
And I'm Scott Jagow. A St. Louis County mayor is accused of sexually assaulting a minor.
Riverview Mayor Mike Cornell Jr. has been charged with multiple counts of sodomy, harassment, and possession of child pornography after allegedly assaulting multiple victims over the span of a decade. According to St. Louis County Police Lieutenant Colonel Jerry Lohr, Cornell abused his position to entice his victims.
He portrayed himself as an individual who had power, who had prestige, and I think he used that to entice some of his victims.
Charging documents accuse Cornell of having intercourse with 2 minor male victims between 2016 and 17 and assaulting a third victim in December of 2025. Because of this gap, prosecutors believe there may be more victims and are encouraging anyone else assaulted by Cornell to come forward. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
Cornell is being held on a $1 million cash-only bond.
A homeless St. Louis man is headed to prison after accepting a plea deal with the circuit attorney's office, avoiding a murder trial next week. 43-year-old Eric D. Johnson entered a guilty plea Thursday to 1 count of first-degree domestic assault. In exchange, a charge of murder and 5 other felonies were dropped.
A judge sentenced Johnson to 15 years in state prison. Court documents indicate he used a 2x4, a baseball bat, and his hands to attack his 35-year-old victim in February of 2024. The assault happened inside an abandoned house at 14th and Cass. The woman died a week later.
At 10th and Cass, there is a homeless camp that now has a makeshift warming shelter. However, concerns over its safety have drawn the city's attention. The shelter was made in a few days out of wood and old billboard banners and warmed by a propane heater. Mayor Kara Spencer is worried of a potential fire.
A carpenter named Prop Man Johnson built the structure to give the homeless camp a place to warm up, besides the city shelter a quarter-mile away. But he says the residents are concerned their items will be stolen while they're gone. Johnson says his tiny house is safe, but he stressed to the homeless to not turn this into a tragedy.
I don't want to do an interview with you in 2 weeks. It caught fire or something happened in there, and then it's like it was pointless. And I don't want to be a I told you so situation. So it's like I told them, if this gets messed up, it's going to make them look even better, and they're going to sweep the whole thing around.
Mayor Spencer says the city is not demolishing the structure right now, but she wants to work with Johnson to make it safer.
The business desk, sponsored by Krentz Financial Group, KFGadvisors.com, a unanimous vote by workers at the Union Station Build-A-Bear to join United Food and Commercial Workers Local 655. The vote came a day after the assistant manager of that store was fired for what she says was retaliation for pursuing unionization. Lucy Acevedo told the Business Journal they're not disgruntled employees. She says they love their jobs and should be able to afford rent, food, and a life. They also want a path to health insurance for part-time employees.
Coming up, there are now 8 confirmed flu-related deaths in St. Louis County. We'll get more on that. Plus, a very January weather forecast just ahead. It is 7:07.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com, because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/Mike.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu, an elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-894-7722. That's 800-894-7722. Again, 800-894-7722.
This hour of Total Information AM is sponsored by Gamma Tree Experts.
It is now time at going on 7:10 to check traffic and weather. The weather today, not bad, but getting colder. More details on that on the way after we check in with Roger Brand, who's in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, it's been sort of a busy Friday morning, Debbie. Normally they're not that way, but it certainly has been so far. Now, we only have one real trouble spot now, and I mentioned at the top of the hour the crash, northbound 270 at 64. It's on the right shoulder for the most part, but it's sort of a narrow shoulder, so they do have the right lane blocked for the crash. North 270 is a solid jam at Manchester up to that crash scene. Otherwise, North 270 looks great. They cleared that crash we had northbound 55 at Highway M. Things are okay there. I don't see any delays. I don't see any delays in the work zone north of Bayless right now. It looks okay. And they cleared that crash eastbound 70 we had at TR Hughes. Well, there was a little heavy traffic approaching K, but even in the last 5 minutes or so, that is the now. So eastbound 70 back on the run. It looks great coming in from the Warrenton area. No delays in the Wright City area, west of Wentzville Parkway. The earlier incident we had is gone. Downtown, we're still good to go westbound across the Poplar and Musel Veterans Bridges for Illinois drivers. I do see a little bit of a backup on Route 3. Some heavy traffic through Monsanto. May have just been a train recently crossing there. Next update is 7:20 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
KMOX AccuWeather. Breezy today and not as cold as yesterday with intervals of clouds and sun. There can be a shower toward evening, high 47. A couple of snow showers early tonight, mostly cloudy, brisk and turning colder overnight, low 22. Tomorrow, breezy and much colder with clouds, some sun and a high just 27. AccuWeather real field temperatures no better than the teens. For Sunday, partly sunny and breezy, but not quite so cold, high 36. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Thank you, Joe. Right now it's 35 in St. Peter's. We have 35 in Florissant. It's clear, and 33 downtown at the Arch.
It is 7:11, and there are now 8 confirmed flu-related deaths in St. Louis County so far this influenza season. We get more from KMOX Health Editor Fred Bottomer.
St. Louis County Health Department Director Dr. Kanika Cunningham says the 5 men and 3 women who died ranged in age from 36 to 89 years old. 7 of the 8 were 70 or older.
Every individual who died had underlying health conditions or other risk factors, such as smoking or obesity, and that placed them at increased risk for severe disease. And critically, the majority of these individuals had not received this season's flu vaccine.
Which should serve as a reminder, Dr. Cunningham says, that it's still not too late to get a flu shot if you haven't already. Fred Bottomer, KMOX News.
A massive federal investigation into point shaving reaches St. Louis. Prosecutors indicted former SLU forward Bradley Ezewiro for his alleged role in a national bribery scheme. Investigators say he took cash to purposefully underperform in games, specifically the Billikens matchup in 2024 at Duquesne. This is so gamblers could win bets against the spread. Here's former Missouri Attorney General and current FBI Deputy Director Andrew Bailey talking about the indictments.
Those who believed they could operate in the shadows, defraud the public, and escape justice were wrong. The Department of Justice and this FBI will not tolerate the exploitation of the American institutions for criminal profit.
Azuero isn't the only one. More than a dozen others at other schools have also been indicted. SLU issued a statement late Thursday. It acknowledges a former student athlete who transferred to another school has been indicted. Does not mention Azuero by name. It also goes on to say, consistent with our Jesuit identity, we educate students to adhere to the highest level of integrity and ethics in the classroom, in competition, and in life.
Mississippi County, Missouri taxpayers have been taxed more than they should have been for nearly a decade, according to a new report.
A new report from State Auditor Scott Fitzpatrick says Mississippi County residents in southeast Missouri have been overtaxed by about $172,000 since 2016. Fitzpatrick says weak controls and poor oversight have put taxpayer money and property at risk. The audit also cites constitutional violations, open records issues, and budgeting problems that led to overspending by nearly $290,000. The county received a fair rating with major problems found in several offices, including the prosecuting attorney, sheriff, county clerk, and county commission. Officials have agreed to make improvements. Matt Pilger, Missouri Net.
Add a new title for St. Louis beloved Stan Kroenke, Land Baron. According to Land Report magazine, the Rams owner and Missouri native is now the biggest landowner in America after acquiring 937,000 acres of ranch land in New Mexico. That gives him about 2.7 in the United States. That's the equivalent of Delaware, Rhode Island, and Connecticut.
2.7 million acres of land he owns.
About the same size as 3 states combined.
Stan Kroenke.
Got the money.
All right. Well, it's now 7:15.
Good morning. I'm Brian Feldman filling in for Tom Ackerman. Let's start with some baseball where the rich just keep on getting richer. And no, we're not talking about Stan Kroenke. The World Series champion Los Angeles Dodgers nabbed the top free agent available on the market, outfielder Kyle Tucker. It's worth a reported 4 years, $240 million with opt-outs after years 2 and 3. Tucker starred for the Cubs last year after 7 seasons in Houston. Soon-to-be 29-year-old had an .841 OPS for Chicago, 22 home runs, 25 stolen bases. He now joins a lineup that already features Shohei Ohtani, Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, Will Smith, and Max Muncy. More baseball news. Just a couple days after trading Nolan Arenado to the Diamondbacks, the Cardinals announced its 2026 international signing class, and this one marked by 2 headliners, an outfielder named Emmanuel Luna and a shortstop named Carlos Carrion. They each get over $1 million. Luna over $2 million reportedly in signing bonus. International players eligible to sign once they turn 17 years old. College hoops, the St. Louis Billikens men's basketball team off today, but face Richmond tomorrow afternoon at Chaffetz Arena. SLU 16-1 this year, only loss coming to Stanford, and that was by 1 point. They're also unbeaten at A-10 play at 4-0. Robbie Avila leading the team with nearly 13 points per game, but as a team, the Billikens averaging better than 90 a game. That's 11th best in the country. On the ice, the Blues host the Lightning tonight at Enterprise Center, face-off set for 7. They snapped a 3-game losing streak on Tuesday with a 3-0 win over the Hurricanes, but they are still in second to last place in the Central Division. Tampa Bay, meanwhile, on an 11-game winning streak as the top team in the Eastern Conference. To football, the NFL playoffs resume this weekend with the divisional round. Bills and Broncos start things off tomorrow afternoon at 3:30 in the AFC. That's followed by the 49ers and Seahawks at 7 o'clock in the NFC. Then on Sunday, it's Texans-Patriots at 2, followed by Rams-Bears at 5:30. Then on Monday, it is college football's national championship. 10th-seeded Miami trying to shock the world and take down number 1 Indiana. The Hoosiers unbeaten this season at 15-0. But not only that, winning both playoff games, each by more than 30 points. Keep in mind, this is a de facto home game for the Hurricanes. It's in Miami at Hard Rock Stadium. With reports at 15 and 45 past the hour, I'm Brian Feldman on your home for St. Louis Cardinals baseball, KMOX.
Dan owed an unbelievable amount of money to the IRS.
I got behind on my taxes. It's a horrible feeling.
He was in denial.
And when I got those letters from the IRS, you wanted to act like they didn't exist.
Finally, Dan turned to Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima got me a settlement with the IRS. These people are really people friendly. It was every bit of a new lease on life for me.
The fast action and the great results made Dan's head spin.
I felt like I was in a dream, but it's real. And I have paperwork to prove it. They got the job done, and life is good.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation.
If you're worried about what's going to happen with the IRS, stop worrying. Make the call now.
Call 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Here in St. Louis, we take pride in supporting our health and our community. That's why more and more families are turning to Neovitin multivitamins, created by a local physician and made right here in the U.S. using the highest quality domestic and international ingredients. With formulas for men, women, and adults 50 plus, Neovitin helps keep St. Louis families energized, supported, and ready for life. Find Neovitin at your local Deerbergs, Schnucks, and online at neovitin.com. Neovitin, trusted nutrition from St. Louis for St. Louis.
Bag huge savings on your painting projects at Menards. From your kitchen and bath to doors and trim, and even your ceilings. Dutch Boy has the perfect choice for your painting projects. Dutch Boy's Durafighter is a tough paint and primer that provides great scrub resistance and durability. Durafighter interior paint starts at $27.75 a gallon. Get an additional 15% savings on all Dutch Boy paints when you put it in the bag. See store for complete details.
Save big money at Menards.
Your morning news and information. Total Information AM.
It is 7:19. It is time to check in on the roads this morning. Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center. Here's Roger Brand.
Well, Scott, they're still working with the crash on northbound 270 at 64. We still have, it's mostly on the right shoulder, but it's sort of a tight in that construction zone. So they do have the right lane blocked for safety while they deal with this crash. North 270 is jammed approaching Manchester up to the crash again. It's at 64. Right lane is shut down. Other than that, North 270 is wide open down south, just a little busy at the merge on with Gravois. Not that big of a deal there. Northbound 55, the right lane's again approaching the 270 exit are a little bit busy. And then north of Bayless up to River to Pear, just a little bit of a slowdown there. 70 eastbound and westbound, the earlier troubles we had between the city limits and almost Wright City, different places this morning, everything is back on track. Everything looks great there. Downtown, westbound, still clear, no delays across the Poplar. Usual Veterans Bridges, even Route 3, just a little busy coming up to Queenie Monsanto, but not backed up like it was 10, 15 minutes ago. Next update at 7:30 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
It's going to be a nice day today compared to the weekend. Today, we'll have a high of 47 degrees. So we're looking at some clouds and some sun. And we could see a shower towards evening that could turn over to snow showers. We'll have an overnight low of 22. And then it doesn't get a whole lot warmer tomorrow. A high of 27 degrees tomorrow with clouds and sun. But real field temperatures will probably be in the teens and then warming up to 36 on Sunday. Currently in downtown St. Louis, it's 32 degrees.
The news continues at 7:21. I'm Scott Jagow, along with Debbie Monterrey. Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado has given President Trump her Nobel Peace Prize medal. In return, Machado was hoping for his support in her bid to be Venezuela's next president.
CBS's Nancy Cordes says Trump was pleased to receive the medal, but his response fell short of Machado's expectations, as White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt made clear during yesterday's press briefing.
The White House says Trump does support free elections and democracy in Venezuela, but that for now, the current regime is providing stability.
They have been extremely cooperative. They have thus far met all of the demands and requests of the United States and of the president.
The Nobel Committee, meanwhile, in a statement said, quote, "Once a Nobel Prize is announced, it cannot be revoked, shared, or transferred to others. The decision is final and stands for all time."
South Korea's former president Yoon has received a 5-year prison term in the first of 8 criminal trials.
A South Korean court has sentenced former President Yoon Suk-yeol to 5 years in prison on some charges related to his imposition of martial law in 2024. The verdicts, the first against Yoon in the 8 criminal trials over the decree he issued and other allegations. The most significant criminal charge against him is that the martial law enforcement amounted to a rebellion, and the independent counsel has requested the death sentence in the cases to be decided in a ruling next month. Yoon has maintained he didn't intend to place the country under military rule for an extended period, saying his decree was only meant to inform the people about the danger of a liberal-controlled parliament obstructing his agenda. I'm Charles Philatesma.
About 24 Buddhist monks are getting close to wrapping up a very long walk.
The monks are making a 2,300-mile trek from Texas to Washington, D.C. in a walk for peace. Their journey started in October, and people traveled for miles to Charlotte, North Carolina to see the monks pass through, including South Carolina resident Jasmine Serta.
It fills our hearts to see how many people are showing up and showing support, even though many people have never heard of a monk or seen monks before.
The Walk for Peace is scheduled to end at the White House in February. Jennifer Kuiper, CBS News.
Monday is a very important day. It's National Popcorn Day. But some big theater chains are offering deals starting today.
Popcorn lovers can already haul in big deals for National Popcorn Day on Monday. AMC Theaters is offering a free large bucket with the purchase of its $29.95 popcorn pass today through Monday. Cinemark is again teaming up with Lowe's for its Bring Your Own Bucket deal, dishing out up to 400 ounces of popcorn for $5 plus tax to anyone who brings their own container in Sunday and Monday. Regal is asking customers to dress in a costume in order to score free large popcorn Monday only.
A viral video caught a couple planting their own hair in their food at a restaurant in Texas.
The video shows a woman pulling out strands of her hair at Fajita Mexican Grill in Stafford, southwest of Houston. The man she was with put the hairs in his food, then complained about them. The restaurant comped their meal, but later the owner's daughter, Laisha Ramirez, checked the surveillance video and posted it online.
I didn't want them to get away with going to another restaurant, doing the same thing, or if they've done the same thing in the past, we don't want them to continue hurting these small restaurants.
Instead of pressing charges, Ramirez opted for social media karma. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Straight from the file of What is Wrong with People. A country music star has teamed up with some friends to celebrate her 80th.
I can see the light of a clear blue morning.
Dolly Parton joined forces with her goddaughter Miley Cyrus, Lainey Wilson, Queen Latifah, and Reba McEntire for a new version of her 1977 hit. She says the message of hope feels just as true today as it did then. Proceeds from the recording and music video will benefit pediatric cancer research. The Grand Ole Opry celebrates Dolly tomorrow.
I can see the light of a clear blue morning.
She turns 80 on Monday. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Well, happy birthday, Dolly. Soon your monthly Spotify bill could cost even more than Disney Plus and Netflix combined. They're going up by $1 or $2, with family plans jumping to $22 a month. You'll see the change on your February bill. That is, if you don't plan to cancel. The Apple Music family plan stays at $17 a month, but radio is, of course, still free.
As it is right here on KMOX.
We won't charge you to listen to us. It is 7:26, and the time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelley Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Did you see that? Well, maybe if you're having a hard time or you're squinting, it's time to get those eyes checked. You need to do that every year, and I'm going to highly recommend that you make an appointment at Ophthalmology Associates. Ophthalmology Associates, they're the doctors treating more than 250 doctors, more than any other practice. And why is that important? Well, doctors know who the other good doctors are. And when you get your eyes checked, it's about more than just reading the eye chart. So yes, that is an important part. But at Ophthalmology Associates, it is the most thorough eye exam that I have ever had. And after years and years and years of dealing with some eye issues, I finally got to the bottom of it with Dr. Ranjan Malhotra at Ophthalmology Associates. I have dry eye disease, and it was affecting my vision. So anyway, we're fixing that now with some prescription eye drops. I'm just saying they'll find things that others won't. And they treat cataracts, glaucoma, diabetic retinopathy. Yes, they do LASIK surgery. They treat dry eye, allergic conjunctivitis. You name it, they are doctors. Greg Birdie, Ranja Malhotra, Robert Brusati, Andy Royer. Give them a call at 966-5000, 314-966-5000, or youridoc.com.
What if every time you spent money, you saved money too? With Achieve It Checking from Together Credit Union, you can do just that. Every debit card purchase is rounded up to the nearest dollar, and the spare change goes right into your savings. And here's the best part. Together Credit Union boosts your progress by matching qualifying savings up to $8 a month. It's a free checking account that helps you achieve more automatically. Learn more, or better yet, enroll today at togethercu.org. Together Credit Union. Federally insured by NCUA.
If you need a garage door, this could be your lucky day. Entries are open now for the $5,000 sweepstakes at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. A winner will be chosen at random to receive $5,000 towards new garage doors, openers, or front entry doors of your choice. Deadline to enter is the end of the month to win the $5,000 sweepstakes with Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Enter now at overheaddoorstlouis.com. You can't win if you don't enter at overheaddoorstlouis.com.
An important message from S&L Coins. S&L Coins pays top dollar for your gold and silver coins, old currency, gold-filled jewelry, scrap gold and silver, silver plating, gold and silver bullion. Get a quote with a call to S&L at 544-3600. S&L Coins, 544-3600. Or visit S&L Coins at 9300 Gravois, just east of McKenzie. Open 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 Saturday. Before you sell, call S&L, 544-3600.
At Straight Talk, we get it. You say no a lot.
Mom, can I get a tarantula?
No.
Coffee?
No. So we're giving you more reasons to say yes, like a free 5G phone with real unlimited data with select plan activation.
Can I use the free phone?
Yes. See, doesn't it feel good to say yes to more?
Absolutely. Face tattoo?
Absolutely not. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Taxes and fees apply. In-store activation of Gold Unlimited plan or higher required. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
For 100 years, you have welcomed KMOX into your cars, your kitchens, and your daily routines.
You've trusted us through breaking news, championship celebrations, and stories that shaped our city.
You've listened during moments of joy and leaned on us when times were uncertain.
From overnight shifts to early mornings, from one generation to the next, you've made KMOX part of your life.
From everyone at KMOX, thank you, St. Louis, for 100 unforgettable years.
KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
It is 7:30. We're looking at 34 degrees downtown at the Gateway Arch under clear skies. I'm Scott Jagow.
And I'm Debbie Monterrey, along with Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, good news, Debbie and Scott. They cleared that crash North 270 at 64, so lane's back open. Now, if you're on North 270, there's still that little bit of a slowdown at Gravois. No big deal, really, but you're bogged down at Doherty Ferry. It's bumper to bumper most of the way up to 64 on North 270 because, you're entering the construction zone anyway, so it's already a slow slog through there, even when there isn't a crash. Like I said, the crash is cleared, but the jam still exists. Northbound 55, just a little bit of a backup. Bayless up to River to Pear. That's it. It looks good down in Jeffco right now. If you're on eastbound Highway 70, it looks great out west. There's a little bit of a slowdown, 94 to 5th Street, then it sorts itself out. Eastbound 64 and South 61 still look great coming out of Wentzville. No delays either direction on 64 at the Interbelt. Downtown, we're still clear. Westbound across the Poplar Mutual Veterans Bridges do have a crash, minor, westbound 364 at the Arena Parkway exit, just partially blocking at the exit through traffic in both directions. There is fine. Next update at 7:40 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Maybe enjoy the warmth today. 47 for your high because it's going to get colder. We're going to have a shower toward evening. We might have some snow showers overnight as the temperature drops to 22. Tomorrow, we're not even getting to 30. 27 for the high. It'll feel like it's in the teens. 36 on Sunday. Really cold on Monday. It'll feel like single digits with 23, the actual temperature. Right now, it is 36 in St. Peter's, 35 in Florissant, 34 downtown at the Arch.
A makeshift warming shelter built at a homeless camp is drawing questions of safety and priorities.
The wood structure looks like a shipping container wrapped in old billboard banners. According to Ariane Johnson, the carpenter who put it together, Mayor Kara Spencer isn't filling a need by giving these people a warming option without having to leave their belongings.
She is doing things. I'm not saying she isn't. It's just some people don't want to leave their belongings.
However, there are concerns from the city about the structure's safety. It's wooden and warmed by a propane heater in an unhoused encampment littered with hypodermic needles, presumably from drug abuse. Mayor Spencer is deeply concerned for the safety of those using it.
If a fire were to start and getting everyone out of the structure is extremely dangerous.
Spencer affirms the city is not planning on taking down the structure, but wants to work with Johnson to make it code compliant and safe. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
St. Louis County's public health director is urging people to get their flu shots. Dr. Kanika Cunningham also has some thoughts on the CDC's recent changes to the childhood vaccine schedule. She says they're not rooted in science.
When fewer people are protected through vaccines, it's more likely we will see outbreaks of infectious diseases that could be preventable, such as measles. If you have questions about the vaccines, please speak to your pediatrician. And if you don't have one, please come to the St. Louis County Department of Public Health, where we can connect you with a pediatrician and get you the care that you need.
Half a dozen medical associations plan to go to court to reverse the CDC's recommendations.
The White House and a bipartisan group of governors are holding an event today taking aim at power shortages and price spikes from data centers for artificial intelligence. It's a growing concern for voters ahead of the 2026 midterm elections.
They're trying to pressure the operator of the Mid-Atlantic power grid to hold a power auction for tech companies to bid on contracts to build new plants. Consumer advocates say ratepayers in the grid, it stretches from New Jersey to Illinois, are paying billions in higher bills to underrate the cost of the power supply to AI data centers.
The news is sponsored by Michael's Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts, michaelsflooringoutlet.com. It's 7:34, and we'll be back with your money report next.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
What is it that makes the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid an incredible SUV? Is it the spacious interior that's comfy for the whole crew? Or the capability to go off-road? Maybe it's up to 600 plus miles of range. What if it's all of that and more? What is it then? The all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid. So much more than just another SUV. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
It's 7:35, and your money report is brought to you by Busey Bank.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. The oil and gas industry in the U.S. has slashed 40% of its workforce over the past decade, and those jobs are unlikely to return. New technologies to drill faster and cheaper, and robots replacing humans on rigs have resulted in the disappearance of 250,000 jobs since the industry's employment peaked in 2014. By the way, production has surged 50% over that time frame. Turning to trading, stocks look set to extend yesterday's rally. Traders are betting the artificial intelligence boom has plenty of room to run. And Gap is going Hollywood. The retailer has tapped a former Paramount executive to be its first chief entertainment officer. Gap is looking to grow its presence in television, film, and gaming, and it's opening a Los Angeles office on Sunset Boulevard as part of its push toward what it calls fashiontainment. The company has been moving into the digital age using flashy marketing campaigns to excite shoppers. Courtney Donahoe, Bloomberg Radio.
This is the Let's Revitalize Our Neighborhoods commitment. This is the Roll Up Our Sleeves and Pitch In commitment. This is Busey, where our commitment to strengthen our communities is a top priority. Through energetic, engaged volunteers, through monetary support, community leadership, and advocacy. Because Busey is more than a bank that does well, we're a bank that does good. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth, since 1868. Member FDIC.
This is Corey from Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. There's never a good time for your heating system to stop working. If yours does, no matter what time or day, Air Comfort Service offers 24/7 emergency HVAC service. Contact our award-winning team for 5-star heating service and stay in your comfort zone. For heating and 24/7 emergency service, contact Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation at aircomfortservice.com. That's aircomfortservice.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well,
trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. Hey, Cardinal Cowboy here. Who would have thought a car crash would have led to charities, TV shows, and cheering with the best fans in the world? I'm thankful for every day. And so are my friends at Renner Garage Door. They've been turning garage doors from zero to hero since 1966. With help from trusted brands like Delden, Amar, and LiftMaster, honest family-style service you can count on. So giddy up and get your free repair or replacement quote today. Giddy up!
RENNER, RENNER.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan with McKelvey Homes. Dreaming of a brand new home but don't want to wait? You are in luck. McKelvey has dozens of brand new move-in ready homes with tremendous savings. And take advantage of our special 30-year fixed financing from the Fives. We have a wide variety of luxury custom homes in prime locations, all with McKelvey's legendary quality and personal service. Visit McKelveyHomes.com and move up to McKelvey.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Dial #law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hey guys, Glover here with my friends Mark and Neil Gelman of eXp Realty. If you need to sell your home to buy a new one, it's never been more important to have an experienced negotiator that you can trust. You need my friends Mark and Neil Gelman on your side. 314-336-1991. Go to thegelmanteam.com.
For all station contest rules, go to KMOX.com/rules.
Sunday night, the Bears and Rams go head-to-head in the NFC Divisional Round matchup.
Siteman Cancer Center game time, 7 p.m. Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer.
The Bears, the Rams, on America's Sports Voice, 104.1 FM KMOX.
It is 7:40. Roger Brand watching the commute this morning from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Yeah, we got trouble in North County now, Scott. You know, we had it a couple of days ago, and it's back with us, unfortunately. Another crash. All lanes are temporarily shut down right now, westbound 270 at Graham Hanley because of this crash, so no traffic's getting through westbound 270 right now. Police just arrived on the scene to deal with it. Now, the jam's not too extensive yet. You're backed up to about, let's call it Washington Elizabeth, westbound on 270. But like I said, well, now the right two lanes are starting to get through. They're moving some cars around, so right two lanes are getting through, but there is a short jam there on westbound 270. Eastbound Highway 70, 94 to 5th Street, that's a little busy. Northbound 270, slow midway up from Gravelly to 44, and then Big Bend all the way up to 64, where we had an earlier crash. Northbound 55, a little off the pace. North of Bayless up to River to Pear. Not that big of a deal. Eastbound 64 looks great from Wentzville all the way into downtown. Downtown westbound coming across the Poplar Musial Veterans Bridges. Still no delays there, and they took care of that crash. Westbound 364 at Arena Parkway, no longer any restrictions at the exit for you there either. Next update at 7:50 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
It is 7:41, and looking out the windows here of Studio B in downtown West, I do see sunshine, but the sky is blue, but kind of weird looking, kind of dark looking in a strange way, Joe Lundberg. I don't know what's happening.
Well, there's some higher clouds that are trying to filter in from the north and west, so the sun's illuminating those from the east, but they're coming in from the west, and there's going to be a fair amount of clouds around today, but the wind is out of the south and southwest, and that means a milder day than what we saw yesterday, and what's to come in the next 24 hours. 47 are high, and there could be a shower late this afternoon or this evening. A couple of snow showers early tonight, then the cold air really makes its presence felt. By morning, we're down to 22. We stay in the 20s tomorrow with clouds, some sun, or high, just 27. and the real field temperature is no better than the teens. That's a 20-degree difference from today to tomorrow. Sunday will be partly sunny and breezy, not quite so bitter, the high 36. I think it's even colder Monday. Despite sunshine, our high only 23, real feels in the single digits. Sunshine Tuesday, we rebound toward 40. Right now, it's 35 degrees at St. Peter's and Florissant, and partly cloudy, and 35 downtown at the Arch. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Thank you, Joe. It is 7:42. St. Louis native Matthew Tkachuk and his Florida Panthers visited the White House yesterday. This is to celebrate the team's back-to-back Stanley Cups. Tkachuk told the president,
"Well, I mean, the 2 cups was pretty good, but that walk with you might have trumped it all there. That was pretty amazing."
He vowed the Panthers will make a good run at a third straight title, also promising he and other Americans on the Olympic team will try hard for a gold in Italy.
How do you solve military veteran homelessness? Senator Tammy Duckworth of Illinois says the VA used to require veterans to be sober before giving them shelter, but that failed. She told the summit that the only thing that works is harm reduction.
It made no sense, right? So we had to change the thinking to what the homelessness community had been working on, which is reduction of harm. Get them into the housing and then work on getting them clean and sober.
Duckworth says once the VA flipped that policy, they were able to immediately start getting veterans off the streets.
A new exhibit opens tomorrow at the St. Louis Kaplan Feldman Holocaust Museum. It highlights Japanese-American incarceration during World War II. Holocaust Museum Director Myron Friedman says Resilience, a sense of legacy, features 8 artists whose work reflects on the enormous injustice. But it also includes this weekend
tea ceremony demonstration, an origami demonstration, calligraphy, and there'll be displays of ikebana, which is the flower arranging art, and bonsai, which is sculpted trees.
Those demos are first come, first served. The exhibit, done in partnership with the Japanese and American Citizens League, runs through April 4th.
Wikipedia celebrating its 25th anniversary in an AI world.
The online encyclopedia, written by volunteers, has signed up new AI partners, including Meta and Microsoft, alongside existing ones like Google. Those companies are paying to access Wikipedia content. Founder Jimmy Wales welcomes the AI training on Wikipedia data, but is urging AI developers to pay for access.
We're trying to work with these companies to basically say, you're using Wikipedia, like everybody needs Wikipedia because it's human curated knowledge. You should probably chip in and pay for your fair share of the cost that you're putting on us.
Wikipedia plans to use AI to assist editors and improve search experiences while addressing criticism of bias and competition from rivals like Grokpedia. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
Good morning. I'm Brian Feldman filling in for Tom Ackerman. Let's start with college hoops. The St. Louis University men's basketball team off today, but face Richmond tomorrow afternoon at Chaffetz Arena. SLU 16-1 this year, 4-0 in A-10 play. The only loss coming to Stanford, and that was by 1. Robbie Avila leading the team this year with nearly 13 points per game. As a team, though, the Billikens averaging better than 90 a game. That's 11th best in the country. Also, tomorrow, Mizzou travels to LSU for a date with the Tigers. And the 13th-ranked Illinois Fighting Illini host Minnesota in Champaign. On the women's side, SLU, Mizzou, and Illinois off till Sunday. That's when the Billikens host Dayton. The Tigers travel to Florida, and the Fighting Illini host Northwestern. On the ice, the Blues host the Lightning tonight at Enterprise Center. Face-off set for 7. They did snap a 3-game losing streak on Tuesday with a 3-0 win over the Hurricanes. But the Blues still sit in second to last place in the Central Division with 44 points, just one more than Winnipeg. Tampa Bay, meanwhile, well, that's the top team in the Eastern Conference, currently on an 11-game winning streak. On to baseball, the World Series champion Dodgers nabbed the top free agent available on the market, outfielder Kyle Tucker. It's worth a reported 4 years, $240 million. Tucker starred for the Cubs last year after 7 seasons in Houston. On to football, the NFL playoffs resume this weekend with the divisional round. Bills and Broncos start things off with a matchup at 3:30 tomorrow afternoon. That's in the AFC, followed by the 49ers and Seahawks in the NFC at 7. Then on Sunday, Texans and Patriots at 2 o'clock. That's followed by the Rams and the Bears at 5:30. Then on Monday, college football's national championship.
10th seeded Miami trying to shock the world and take down number 1 Indiana. The Hoosiers unbeaten this season at 15-0, winning both playoff games by more than 30 points each. Keep in mind, this is a de facto home game for the Hurricanes. It's in Miami at Hard Rock Stadium. Elsewhere in college football, Oklahoma announces star quarterback John Mateer will return for his final season of eligibility in 2026. He opts not to go into the NFL draft. Mateer threw for nearly 3,000 yards this past season, leading the Sooners to the college football playoff. With reports at 15 and 45 past the hour, I'm Brian Feldman on your home for St. Louis Cardinals baseball, KMOX.
I do appreciate all the referrals that we receive daily. It is phenomenal. I've said it. I can't say it enough how much I do appreciate the referrals. With that being said, if you do refer me, you're in great hands. I will not sell homeowners that work hard for their money, just like myself, crap that they do not need. But if you want good quality, man, you can't even say cheap anymore. I don't think I can even say cheap by you can't even go by price. Okay, that's another commercial. Call me, Bart Inman, one easy number, Missouri and Illinois, 314-293-2600. Remember, it's the only number, Missouri and Illinois, 314-293-2600 or bartinman.com. Now that's Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com.
The 29th annual Winter Warm-Up is coming back to Busch Stadium in Ballpark Village, starting tomorrow. Admission passes and player autograph tickets are on sale now. Team up with Cardinals Care to support St. Louis area children by purchasing your tickets now. It's one of the best events of the year with family-friendly activities, including tours of the Cardinals Clubhouse and admission to the world-class Cardinals Hall of Fame and Museum. For more information, go to KMOX.com/events.
If you're one of the millions of Americans behind on your taxes, if you're afraid to open your mail because IRS collection letters could be coming, listen carefully. The IRS is cracking down, taking paychecks, freezing bank accounts, revoking passports. That's a fact. But here's what most people don't know. There are official tax relief programs designed to help struggling taxpayers. Programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief. Optima's award-winning team will fight to protect your paycheck, your passport, and your property. Their tax attorneys and licensed tax professionals will work tirelessly to get you the best deal possible with the IRS. Every day, penalties and interest keep piling up, so don't wait. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Now, the news. At 9, The Talk. The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX.
It is 7:50. Roger Brand watching the roads for us from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
And keeping an eye on this crash in North County, Scott. Second day this week, we've had a bad one up at North County. This one is westbound 270 right near Graham Hanley. Only the two right lanes are open. EMS is on scene. It's a solid jam back through West Florissant now on westbound 270. If you're headed through North County, just be prepared. Northbound 270 from Big Bend all the way up to Ladue, that's still pretty busy. Eastbound 70 and eastbound 64 from the split in Wentzville across the Missouri River bridges looks great. Westbound 64, McCausland through Big Bend, just a little slow, not that bad there. Northbound 55 just has a little heavy traffic from Bayless up to River to Pear. Downtown, we're still good to go westbound. No delays across the Poplar or Musial Veterans Bridges so far for you this morning. Next update at 7:58 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
All right. Thanks, Roger. We do have a decent day in store for us. It's going to be clouds and sun, high of 47 degrees, maybe a shower toward evening, and that could turn over to some snow showers. Tomorrow, it's not going to be warm at all. It's going to be 27, but it's going to feel like it's in the teens with clouds and some sun. Currently, it's 33 degrees and cloudy in downtown St. Louis.
Next time somebody says St. Louis, next time somebody says St. Louis, what's St. Louis got?
What's the portion of the show? St. Louis has got a lot, and this is the portion of the show where we try to guess where Scott Jagow has been roaming. I'm Debbie Monterrey, and joining me in Studio B to help guess Along with those of you at home, we have news editor Brad Choate. You ready, Brad?
I'm ready.
And producer Frank Ladd.
Good morning.
All right, we're ready, Scott.
Okay.
What are
so
our odds?
I don't know what your odds are. This is the question. Okay. I'm going to play some clues.
We have an emphasis on French and European food, but it's very much, in my mind, through the lens of a St. Louisan. I guess the French aspect comes from the technique, being able to superimpose those techniques over ideas of me as a St. Louisan.
So a little French influence.
Okay. We're at a restaurant of some kind, possibly.
Mhm.
Is this the chef?
It is the chef. And it is a restaurant that has a French influence, but it's a St. Louis French influence. It's very specific. Okay. Here's another clue.
Our burger is my favorite. That's my baby.
Oh, really?
I love it so much. A nice 5-ounce patty of grass-fed, grass-finished beef from Boyard's just down the street over on Sutton in Maplewood. Other than that, it's just brioche bun, garlic aioli, some nice sweet onions, and some homemade pickles. You can't really go wrong, can you?
You can't really go wrong. That sounds good right now.
That sounds
to be honest.
amazing. All right, so he said Maplewood. So we
Well,
are
he said nearby.
nearby.
Down the street off Sutton.
Okay,
Mhm.
so
Doesn't mean it's in Maplewood.
okay, but somewhere in that vicinity.
So, but now we have French influence mixed with a great burger.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, I think that we have kind of a special location here. We get a lot of regular clients from the surrounding neighborhoods that we're in, just because we have the opportunity of being right here on Whitedown Forest and everything. That's kind of a big angle that we've tried to play into a lot. And I think that we've had a lot of success. I hope that we've had a lot of success with it. I hope it translates well. But our regulars are our bread and butter, and we love them.
Did he say why down?
Whitedown Forest. I've never heard of that phrase. I've heard of Whitedown,
Mhm.
but I've never heard Whitedown
Hmm.
Forest as a neighborhood or a street.
Yeah, if you drive down it, you can understand why it's used that name,
Okay.
because there's trees everywhere. We'll do another one here.
The big one that we're very excited about is the stuffed pig's trotter a la Pierre Kaufman.
Okay.
I know it sounds kind of weird, but the entire idea is taking, and it falls right in line with our ethos too, because it's just about taking an ingredient that you normally wouldn't think of as a fine dining ingredient and elevating it to the point where it belongs on any table.
Pierre Kaufman is the chef, a world-renowned chef who's famous for this. So they do an event called Mirroring the Masters, and it's coming up here in a week or two.
Oh.
That's a big event for this restaurant, which is part of a restaurant group. Okay, I got one more clue.
Okay.
What difference does that make in what comes on the plate?
Oh, if you ask me, it's night and day. I really can't overstate how much I truly love being able to take an ingredient that, a producer is passionate about, and being able to put my own passion behind it and just really try not to mess it up. That's the goal. So I think that a lot of people wouldn't expect to see that much of a difference, but once you come in and taste it, I think that you will.
So he's talking about locally harvested things, so locally grown, local producers here in Missouri. He's talking about the difference it makes on the plate with having those ingredients instead of stuff that comes in boxes from elsewhere. Another clue is that the third restaurant in this group is farm to table, definitely, because it's in the name. We're
Bells
right
for
there
me.
on Wydown and Hanley.
Yeah.
It's Bistro La Florissant, and the chef is Nick Steedland, and he was at Vicia, which is the other
sure.
restaurant.
Oh,
and
yes.
the third restaurant is Winslow's Table.
Oh.
Okay.
I've been to
It's
two
the
of
Take
the three.
Root restaurant group. The ambiance is great. The menu looks great. You heard some of the descriptions. There's a dessert on there that's out of this world using mandarins from Bakersfield, California, which Nick swears by. So it's a place to check out for
Oh,
sure.
definitely sounds delicious. And we'll hear more on Sunday at 1.
Yeah, 8:20 and 9:20.
Honey, that flu keeping you up? Did you take NyQuil Intense Flu?
Nah, I got this. Okay, I don't got this.
Yeah, you need NyQuil Intense Flu.
Undo your flu with NyQuil Intense Flu. NyQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms so you can sleep.
You do got this.
NyQuil Intense Flu. The nighttime sniffling, aching fever, best sleep with the flu medicine. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Glover here for my friends at Cantor Injury Law. Cantor is local, and we're here doing the work every day. We're right here in St. Louis, and we're ready to fight for you. CantorInjuryLaw.com or call 314-628-9999.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be solely based on advertisements.
Working full-time but still falling behind? Learn how real estate education can help you build income and get ahead on your terms. Text radio to 88007. That's RADIO to 88007. Presented by Lifestyles Unlimited.
I'm Tom Ackerman. This is KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
I'm Mark Hamrick with a Bankrate.com Personal Finance Minute. Some of the official numbers on the U.S. economy suggest it's doing fine, yet your budget might not agree. You're not imagining that. Bankrate's latest quarterly economist survey points to a year where growth can continue, but the job market might cool and prices stay stubbornly high. On jobs, most economists expect unemployment to drift, with the average forecast calling for about 4.5% unemployment by the end of this year, and hiring that's positive but modest. Translation, fewer openings, longer job searches, and less bargaining power. On recession risk, economists put the odds of a downturn this year at about 1 in 4. Not the base case calling for a recession, but not trivial either. And on inflation, the big message is relief will be slow in coming. Prices are still running about 2.7% higher than a year ago. Many economists don't expect inflation to return to the Fed's 2% target for a couple of years. For more, check out Bankrate.com. I'm Mark Hamrick.
1 minute before 8 o'clock, Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, Scott, no change on our crash westbound 270 at Graham Hanley in North County. EMS on scene. Only the two right lanes are open. Traffic's jammed back to about New Halls Ferry now on westbound 270. Northbound 270 north of Big Bend up to Ladue slow. East and westbound 64. Some heavy traffic right around 170 in the Richmond Heights area as well. Next update at 8:10 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Today is Friday. It is January 16th. I'm Debbie Monterrey, and these are the stories making news. Just ahead in KMOX News in the next hour, the mayor of Riverview goes to jail facing charges. We'll explain why.
I'm Scott Jagow. Flu cases remain high in St. Louis County and throughout the region.
Attorney General Catherine Hanaway is suing pharmacy benefit managers in Missouri.
This is AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg. Intervals of clouds and sun today, breezy and not as cold as yesterday. Perhaps a shower toward evening, the high 47.
We've got Hancock and Kelley coming in, so stick around for that. At the Tone, it is 8 o'clock in Mid-America. This is KMOX.
News, talk, cards. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Pfizer.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. A high-profile visit to post-Maduro Venezuela. CBS News confirms CIA Director John Ratcliffe has met with interim President Delcy Rodriguez. CBS's Stacey Lynn.
The historic 2-hour meeting in Caracas was aimed at rebuilding trust and opening the door to future cooperation. According to a U.S. official, Ratcliffe warned Venezuela must not support drug trafficking groups, including Tren de Aragua. Ratcliffe is the first cabinet-level official to visit Venezuela since the removal of Nicolas Maduro 12 days ago.
Yesterday, President Trump met with Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado, who hopes to lead her country. She gave him her Nobel Peace Prize medal. Machado said this morning she will be Venezuela's president, quote, when the right time comes. In Minneapolis, anti-ICE protesters ignoring the president's threat to invoke the Insurrection Act to send U.S. military troops into the city. CBS's Ian Lee is there.
You can feel the tension in Minneapolis and the surrounding area because you do have these confrontations between protesters, between federal agents. There's about 3,000 federal agents in the city, and there at times it has been quite chaotic.
Tacos and enchiladas weren't enough to head off an ICE raid.
An eyewitness told the Minnesota Star Tribune 4 ICE agents had lunch yesterday afternoon at El Tapatio in Wilmar, about 90 miles west of Minneapolis. 5 hours later, agents followed employees after they closed for the night and arrested 3 of them.
They asked you to leave.
When ICE agents walked into a Mexican restaurant in St. Paul, angry customers yelled at them to leave, which they eventually did. Many immigrant-owned businesses in Minnesota say they're losing revenue with customers too afraid to visit. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
U.S. lawmakers from both sides of the aisle are in Denmark meeting with Danish and Greenlandic officials on President Trump's bid to acquire Greenland. New Hampshire's Democratic Senator Jean Shaheen delivered remarks at the University of Copenhagen today.
We're concerned about what's happening as the result of the president's rhetoric. We want to say very directly to you in Denmark, to you in Greenland, we think this relationship is really important, and that's why we're here.
State police in Pennsylvania investigating a taxidermist after customers reported waiting for years and never receiving their preserved animals. State Trooper Steve Lamani.
For some of the people, they took it very personal. It's like the first deer that their child shot. It's a prized possession.
Investigators found a mess inside Forever Ridge Taxidermy in Western PA, including untagged carcasses that weren't stored properly. This is CBS News.
You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored.
At 8:03, we have mostly cloudy skies now, 35 downtown at the Gateway Arch. It is Friday, January 16th. Good morning. I'm Scott Jagow.
And I'm Debbie Monterrey. The mayor of Riverview has been arrested and charged for allegedly sexually assaulting minors and adults.
Mayor Mike Cornell Jr. has been charged with 4 counts of statutory sodomy, 3 counts of sodomy or attempted sodomy, and 1 count each of harassment and possession of child porn. Cornell is accused of sexually assaulting 2 minors between 2016 and 17, and then assaulting another victim last month. St. Louis County Police Lieutenant Colonel Jerry Lohr says they believe due to this gap and the nature of the crimes, there could be other victims out there.
It's possible that this is like a predatory type of behavior. And we're concerned that if he was, willing to do it to a minor, that there may be other minors that we're just not aware of.
Lohr says Cornell used his position of power to entice his victims. He encourages anyone who might have been a victim of Cornell to come forward. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
Cornell is currently in custody in the St. Louis County Jail being held on $1 million cash-only bond.
A massive federal investigation into point shaving reaches St. Louis. Prosecutors have indicted former SLU forward Bradley Ezewiro for his alleged role in a national bribery scheme. Investigators say Ezewiro took cash to purposefully underperform in games, specifically a 2024 matchup at Duquesne. This is so gamblers could win bets against the spread. Here is the current FBI Deputy Director, Andrew Bailey, talking about the indictments against Ezewiro and more than a dozen others at other schools.
Those who believed they could operate in the shadows, defraud the public, and escape justice were wrong. The Department of Justice and this FBI will not tolerate the exploitation of the American institutions for criminal profit.
SLU issued a statement saying it acknowledges a former student athlete who transferred to another school has been indicted. They say, consistent with their Jesuit identity, we educate students to adhere to the highest level of integrity.
Now a KMOX follow-up regarding your prescription drugs.
Missouri Attorney General Catherine Hanaway is filing a massive lawsuit against St. Louis County-based Express Scripts and 18 other companies, accusing them of driving up the cost of insulin. Hanaway alleges the companies used a deceptive pricing scheme to charge Missourians up to $400 for drugs that cost just $5 in other countries. The state's independent pharmacists are backing the move, the organization issuing a statement that says greed, not patient care, is driving the industry. The lawsuit seeks restitution for diabetic patients who were overcharged. Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
St. Louis County officials say this year's flu outbreak is proving deadly to some in the area.
St. Louis County Health Department Director Dr. Kanika Cunningham.
There have been 8 influenza-associated deaths have been reported to the department this season. These deaths occurred between November 25th and January 10th. 5 were men and 3 were women, with ages ranging from 36 to 89 years old. Although 7 of the 8 individuals were age 70 or older, this serves as a reminder of the importance of getting your flu vaccine.
Dr. Cunningham says all of those who died had underlying health conditions or other risk factors, such as smoking or obesity, and the majority had not received a flu shot this season. Fred Bottomer, KMOX News.
The Missouri State Board of Education has approved 3 specialized high schools for teens battling addiction.
The State Board of Education has approved 3 recovery high schools in Missouri to help teens overcome substance abuse disorders while earning their diplomas. Cape Girardeau Public Schools in the Southeast will sponsor one of the schools. The nonprofit organization Vivo Missouri will operate the other 2, which will be located in Kansas City and St. Louis. Sue Danielson, Missouri Net.
St. Louis area native Matthew Tkachuk posed with the president at the White House yesterday for a second straight year. That's because his Florida Panthers repeated as Stanley Cup champions. Tkachuk and teammates told Mr. Trump,
like Vinny said, we are not stopping now. We hope to be here next year. So that's the plan. And, representing you and the millions back here next month in the Olympics will be one of the highlights of my life as well. So thank you.
Matthew and his brother Brady are both on the U.S. Olympic hockey team, as is Metro East native Clayton Keller.
From the business desk, sponsored by Krentz Financial Group, KFGadvisors.com, you can add a new title for Stan Kroenke, Land Baron. According to Land Report magazine, the Rams owner and Missouri native Kroenke is now the biggest landowner in America after acquiring 937,000 acres of ranch land in New Mexico. That gives him about 2.7 million acres of land in the United States, the equivalent of Delaware, Rhode Island, and Connecticut combined. It's 8:08. Traffic and weather are next.
Fairwinds River's Edge is more than a place to live. It's a place to belong. Come see why we have been voted Best Independent Senior Living Community for 4 years in a row by U.S. News and World Report. We think you'll like it here, and the experts agree. Come see us for yourself. Call to schedule a tour and complimentary lunch, or to learn more about our upcoming app university that can help enhance your everyday life. Find us online at fairwindsriversedge.com.
Barnes Jewish Hospital and WashU Medicine physicians have long been leaders in heart and vascular care. Now, we're taking the patient experience to another level by opening our new state-of-the-art patient tower, designed specifically with heart patients in mind. By combining the latest technology with thoughtful design and private rooms, heart patients can experience faster healing, reduce stress, and improved outcomes. Learn more at barnesjewish.org/heart.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This hour of Total Information AM is sponsored by Gamma Tree Experts. Now, the news. At 1, the fun. It's the Dave Glover Show on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Let's get a check on those roads with Captain Roger Brandon, the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, Michael, we only have one trouble spot, and that's North County right now. Westbound 270, the crash just before Graham Hanley. Only the 2 right lanes are open. Flatbeds are on the scene. It looks like most of the vehicles are loaded up. I can't see them all because I'm looking through some overhead interstate billboard, signage. But there is, again, just the 2 right lanes open, and it's a solid jam back to New Halls Ferry on westbound 270 right now. That's the only interstate jam we have. Other than that, just a slowdown on North 270, north of Manchester Road up to Ladue, eastbound 64, a little busy at the Interbelt, south 170, the ramp to eastbound 64 is a little slow, and westbound 64, just a little slowdown right around McCausland and Bellevue. North 55, right north of McNutt looks a little busy in that construction zone. Downtown, we're still good to go westbound across the Poplar and Musial Veterans Bridges. Next update at 8:20 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Breezy today and not as cold as yesterday with intervals of clouds and sun. Watch out for a shower in spots toward evening, the high 47. A couple of evening snow showers, mostly cloudy, brisk and colder overnight, though 22. Tomorrow, breezy and much colder with clouds and some intervals of sun. The high just 27. But AccuWeather real field temperatures no better than the teens. For Sunday, partly sunny and breezy, not quite as cold in the afternoon, high 36. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
It's 33 degrees in downtown St. Louis.
Time for the Friday edition of Hancock and Kelley.
You two belong together.
John Hancock, Michael Kelley on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Good morning, John Hancock.
Top of the morning.
Did you ever call time and temperature back in the day?
I did, and my wife used to work there.
Is she the person who would answer the thing and tell you what time it was?
No. It was an automated thing or whatever it was. The company was called the Telephone Doctor.
The Telephone Doctor?
And their main business was that they would teach companies how to train their person who answered the phone to deal with customers.
Right.
Which is now a, lost art.
Yeah.
Because everybody that answers the phone now is a AI.
Yeah. Well, interesting. I remember calling time and temperature, and it seemed like something you did at least once a week. You'd call and see what the temperature was.
Yeah, and they had a good little business there. The Telephone Doctor. I wonder whatever happened to those folks.
Well, time moves on. Hey, buddy,
So does temperature.
Yeah, we've got a lot to hop into. So let's get into the politics of the week.
Must we?
Yes. First of all, I don't know if you saw this, but Donald Trump, our president, announced the other day that he received the Nobel Peace Prize. No,
well, it's about time. It's about time.
Not his own, but the the story. Can you believe this? I mean, that we have such a petulant child in the White House that he took the Nobel Peace Prize from somebody else who won it because he believes he should have one.
Well, I don't think he got the actual prize, right?
No, she gave him the medal.
Oh, he got
she
the
didn't
medal.
give him the money.
No, right.
No,
right.
Well, he's stealing enough of that. No, I'm kidding. He's got a medal, and she gave him the Nobel Peace Prize. I don't know how you feel about it, but I was curious if you'll give over your spelling bee championship from the 8th grade.
No, it would be the second grade.
I feel like I deserve one.
That would be the second grade, Frostfield Elementary School. I remember it well, Michael.
What?
There I was.
Yeah.
Me and a young lady. I can't remember who the second grade girl was.
Did you beat her?
I did. Yeah. I believe the word was chameleon.
Oof.
And I laid a little chameleon on her.
Lay it on us right now.
I can't do it. Chameleon. Is that a CH or a CA? Frank?
It's not an easy
We need
word.
your help here. CHAMEL.
Yeah.
EAN.
Needless to say,
EON.
you probably won't be winning a spelling bee prize anymore. You'll have to get it from somebody else. But
How
John, what is
impressive though was it for a second grader to spell chameleon?
Yeah, that is impressive.
I can't do it now as a 61-year-old man, but I did it back in 1972.
But to the larger point here, it is a little ridiculous, right? That the most powerful human being on the planet has been obsessed with some type of metal that comes from Europe, that he would make such a temper tantrum that a past winner would come and give him a medal. Now, let's be honest. She's not pure-handed here. She'd like to be appointed the new head of Venezuela.
Right. Yeah, and that's the whole thing. Maria Corina Machado gave Donald Trump her medal, and she would like to be the leader of Venezuela. This is a really interesting, rare, unprecedented situation, because the United States is effectively trying to run that country. We're already selling the oil from Venezuela, yet the Nicolas Maduro's vice president is ostensibly the leader of the country. And she gave remarks yesterday and really kind of tried to walk a fine line as it relates to Donald Trump. But it remains to be seen what's gonna happen here. And if the past means anything, whenever the United States has gone into a country and taken over and attempted to nation build, it's not gone well. And the further you get away, the military operation in Venezuela was an unmitigated success. It was, as our military does, it was done cleanly with no loss of American lives. But when you get further down the field on how you're going to govern and manage and deal with the country, I fear this is not going to end well.
Well, when the invasion took place and they pulled out the dictator, brought him to the United States, Josh Hawley was our own senator from right here in Missouri, was one of the first people to stand up and say, wait a minute, man, we're invading other countries. There really ought to be some protections here. The president of the United States is required under the Constitution to show up and ask Congress to declare some type of war and War Power Act. That vote came down yesterday. Josh Hawley, who had kind of shown a little bit of backbone, well, he wiggled back on that and suddenly went into the camp of Donald Trump.
Yeah, that was a puzzle for me because I gave Senator Hawley a lot of credit for standing up and supporting what I think is pretty clear, that the War Powers Act requires the Congress to declare war. And if you believe that bombing a country and going in and seizing their leader is an act of war, then the president shouldn't be able unilaterally to do something like that. And typically throughout our history, the president lays out before the American people the rationale for military action before he goes in. You'll remember the liberation of Kuwait under George H.W. Bush.
Do I ever?
And he went and had a national address to the American people. It talked about what was going to happen. And then within days, that bombing started. So that didn't happen here. And I thought Hawley deserved to get some credit for standing up with 4 other Republicans and voting for this War Powers resolution. He says he has subsequently met with the White House and that the White House assured him there was no grounds for further military action in Venezuela. And so he reversed his position.
But let me remind you, last week you said, hey, I think Josh Hawley is not doing this just to run for president. I think he's got some real principles behind him. And I said, I think he has the backbone of a jellyfish.
You did?
I feel as though I am being proven to be correct. And Josh Hawley is just doing what Josh Hawley does, putting his finger in the air and going which way the wind goes.
Well, things are not always what they seem, Michael.
Yeah. Speaking of what they may not always seem, when we had that terrible shooting, murder that took place in Minneapolis with the ICE officers, as a result of that, nearly nightly, we seem to have protests now on the streets of Minneapolis. Donald Trump and the White House saying they're going to impose the Insurrection Act. I don't know if that's ever even been implemented in my lifetime. Well, has it?
1992. After the Rodney King riots in Los Angeles, it was implemented. Before that, you've got to go back to the civil rights era and the integration of schools in Mississippi and Alabama. It was initiated. And then before that, you go back to President Grant during the Reconstruction era. And prior to that, President Lincoln. So it's not been oft used in the United States.
What's it mean if it gets used? Does it mean that elections can be suspended?
Well, there's a lot of concern about that being expressed, but I certainly don't expect our elections are going to be suspended.
Hey, we've got to step aside. It's Total Information AM right here on KMOX. Here comes Captain Roger Brand and the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, we still got a jam in North County, Michael. They did clear that crash off at the exit to Graham Hanley, westbound 270 there, but they just called out EMS again for a crash in that same vicinity. There's still a jam from Newhall's Ferry all the way through Washington Elizabeth before it starts opening up, so I'm not sure if we have another problem or if it's just starting to clear out. We'll have to keep tabs on it and see how it progresses, but that is still a solid jam in North County. This traffic reports a service of the Sandberg Phoenix Law Firm. Northbound Highway 55, you got heavy traffic from McNutt up across the Joachim Creek. Just slow there, but otherwise, the rest of these area interstates pretty much on the go for you. Next update at 8:30 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
And the KMOX weather forecast, we're looking for a high in the mid-40s today, but it's going to be cold out there. It's 33 degrees in downtown St. Louis. It feels like 26.
At Sandberg Phoenix, we're more than just a law firm. We're partners committed to you, your business, and your community. From family law to litigation, we're ready to serve. Visit sandbergphoenix.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/Mike.
You still thinking job change in the new year? Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy. IT? Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI. That's what I did. Really? How? Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up. Sweet. Are classes online or on campus? Both. Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Presenting a Gain Flings love story. Dear love of my life, we were on the 12B bus this morning when I caught a whiff. A scent so fresh, so life-changing, I had to find its source. Alas, I didn't know if you were the woman in the pink freshly washed cardigan or the retired mailman next to me, but I knew one of you was my soulmate. Ah, the scent of Gain Flings. Try Gain Flings with OxyBoost and Febreze.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Start the new year off on a healthier note by taking active liver supplements from New Nordic every day. Available online at Amazon or newnordicusa.com or at your local CVS, ShopRite, Meijer Grocery, or Wegmans.
That guy over there is John Hancock. I'm Michael Kelley. You're listening to Total Information AM. And John, I was out and about this week and vaguely remember you telling me a story of Brush with Greatness. Tell me about it.
Well, so, I'm a ragtime aficionado and spent my youth studying the history of ragtime music, and so much of it courses through Missouri. And Scott Joplin, who composed The Entertainer and Maple Leaf Rag, many other pieces, lived here for a time. But his publisher was in Sedalia, Missouri. It was a guy named John Stillwell Stark. And Joplin, who was 30 at the time, met John Stark, who was 58. Stark was white, Joplin African-American. And they hit it off. Stark published the Maple Leaf Rag. It became one of the biggest selling pieces of sheet music in American history. And a year after the publication, less than a year, John Stark moved from Sedalia, Missouri, where he had a music store, and he moved to St. Louis. He bought his printing company, the company he used to print the music, because he was unhappy with their quality, and he bought them. And so he was a music publisher and a printer. Had a shop on Laclede Avenue in St. Louis City, and continued to publish music through the early 1920s. And then ragtime's popularity left, and someone, probably John Stark's son, focused that business on printing, commercial printing. And the John Stark Printing Company eventually moved to a large plant on Manchester, just west of 270 out in St. Louis County. And for years, they were a printer they did all the point of purchase displays for Anheuser-Busch all over the country. It was a big operation, and it lasted for 4 generations of the John Stark family. So I walk into the UPS store in my neighborhood the other day, and I'm sending a thing. And so the young kid behind the counter, I look at his name tag and it says Jack Stark. So I said, any relation to the Stark family printing company? He said, yeah. He said, and that's my dad over there. So he's the franchisee of the UPS.
Man.
And he's also the family historian. So he and I spent the next half an hour talking about that amazing Missouri family.
That's incredible. Do they have any of the original copies or publishing?
Oh yeah, he's got a ton of stuff and pictures that have never been seen. And so we're getting together for lunch next week, and I am very, very excited.
And anybody who hasn't been down to the Scott Joplin house, John Hancock saved that house as a part of your Eagle Scout project. And it's a bit of history right here in St. Louis as a result of you, my friend.
How about that? So it is 8:27 in St. Louis, and that's Time Check is sponsored by Jerry Kelley Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
KMOX, celebrating 100 years. Presented by Purina, your pet, our passion. Now, a KMOX pioneer.
Before he became a national icon, Harry Carey electrified St. Louis baseball on KMOX. With boundless energy, raw emotion, and his signature Holy Cow, Carey brought Cardinals baseball to life for millions across the Midwest.
Slow ball, swung on, a drive, back to left. Way back is Brock, he jumps. Holy cow, did he make the catch or not? Yeah, he's got the ball. The game is over.
The power of KMOX's signal paired with Harry's unforgettable personality helped create one of the strongest team broadcaster bonds in sports.
This is Harry Carey with Jack Buck and Jerry Gross.
His bold, candid style made him one of America's most colorful broadcasters and a defining voice in the early era of KMOX sports. Harry Carey, a KMOX pioneer.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WebNow1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
Hi, Margaret with Eamon Gantner and Capriano. Our St. Louis Baseball Cardinals reset last season. Now they're planning for the long term. Have you thought about a long-term plan for your family? A will, a trust, powers of attorney? Eamon Gantner and Capriano can guide you with a personalized estate plan. Sign up for our free webinar on our website, yourestatemasters.com. Learn more about estate planning, get some answers, list your questions, then schedule a consultation. You can plan for your family, your favorite charities, taxes, your long-term care, and even your pets now, before the courts do it for you later. Eamon Gantner and Capriano, yourestatemasters.com.
The choice of an attorney is an important decision and shouldn't be based solely on advertising.
Right over there is the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center, and sitting in it is Captain Roger Brand.
Well, there's not much going on the highways right now, Michael. So if you're heading out the door, getting going, things are in pretty good shape. Traffic's improving in North County where we had that earlier crash on westbound 270. There's just a hint of a backup right around Newhall's Ferry, and that's it. After that, it is rolling. And North 270's thinned out. No delays any longer. Coming up through 64 to Ladue. Westbound 44, just past the 12th Street gravel exit. See a little slowdown there. That could be some midday road work. 55 is cleared out. That little backup we had running through McNutt is gone. And like I said, the rest of the highways are wide open. Next update at 8:40 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
And from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, it is 33 degrees downtown in St. Louis. It's going to inch its way up to 47 later today.
Well, John, it is the divisional round of the NFL playoffs.
Love it.
Yes, it's been an exciting year. It's hard to believe that football's almost over for the year, isn't it?
Well, it's moving right along. Some really good games coming up.
Some new names in those games, too.
Yeah.
Not some of the old staples.
Well, the Chicago Bears haven't been there in over a decade. And, it's going to be some great games. So you got Buffalo, Denver. That's the first game on Saturday afternoon.
In Denver.
Denver had the bye with the best record in the AFC. I think the Bills win this game. Josh Allen is a force in the playoffs.
He's arguably the best player in the NFL.
Yeah.
I think the Denver Broncos are going to be awfully hard to beat at home at Mile High. I'll take the Denver Broncos there, but that game will be on Saturday at 3:30. Later that evening, it'll be in a West Coast showdown. Is the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, the other team that had the bye, Sam Darnold, the quarterback for Seattle, is dealing with an oblique injury. I'm going to take the visiting 49ers in this game.
Wow, I've got the hometown Seattle Seahawks winning for no other reason than this isn't a game I even give a snot about. It's not that interesting to me. Now, this one is brings back an old name with a new name on Sunday at 2:00 on ABC. The Houston Texans will take on the New England Patriots without the GOAT, but the game will be up there in Foxborough. It seems to me that this could be the resurgence of the New England Patriots. Give me the Patriots.
Buddy, the Houston Texans have the best defense in football, and C.J. Stroud, the quarterback of that team, I think is adequate enough. Houston wins this game.
And a game that will have everybody personally invested in this region, I believe. The former St. Louis Rams, now the L.A. Rams, owned by Stan Kroenke, take on the Chicago Bears at night in Chicago, Soldier Field, 5:30 Sunday night. Bear down Bears. Let's go.
It's going to be 8 below zero wind chill in Chicago. The Los Angeles Rams, not known for cold weather performance. The Bears are going to win this game and go to the NFC Championship and perhaps Super Bowl 60.
Could you imagine? Can you imagine if we get to the Super Bowl? Hey, let's not forget we get a bonus game Monday night, John. That's the national championship game that's taking place down at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Guess who's in the game?
Indiana.
The University of Miami.
Well, it's Tom Ackerman against Kevin Wheeler, and we'll find out. I think and hope that Indiana wins that football game.
Hoosiers. Let's go Hoosiers.
All right. We'll be back after this on KMOX.
What's up, everybody? I'm Nick Costos, and watching sports isn't a hobby. It's a lifestyle, and my show is not a job. It's a passion. From the NFL playoffs to the NBA and everything in between, celebrate sports with me every day on You Better You Bet from 9 a.m. to noon Eastern. Download the Odyssey app now and listen to Westwood One Sports from anywhere. It's You Better You Bet with me, Nick Costos, live and interactive Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to noon Eastern, presented by BetMGM.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. President Trump is making a move to force the tech giants to fund new power plants. The president and a number of Northeastern governors plan to hold an emergency wholesale electricity auction for tech companies to bid on 15-year contracts. The hope is to supply electricity to power-hungry data centers without simultaneously hiking utility bills for homes and businesses. The unprecedented plan is set to be announced this morning. Checking on your money, the enthusiasm for tech stocks carrying into trading this morning, lifting stock index futures. And Ford is said to be in talks with a Chinese company about potentially supplying batteries for hybrid vehicles to the automaker's overseas factories. BYD is the world's top seller of electric vehicles, and sources tell us it's among several battery suppliers Ford is speaking to. The potential pact drew immediate political blowback, with White House trade advisor Peter Navarro questioning the deal. Courtney Donahoe, Bloomberg Radio.
And the Bloomberg Money Report is sponsored by Eamon Gantner and Capriano Elder Law Attorneys.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-478-6430 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-478-6430. That's 800-478-6430. What do you have to lose? Call 800-478-6430. Again, 800-478-6430.
I do appreciate all the referrals that we receive daily. It is phenomenal. I've said it. I can't say it enough how much I do appreciate the referrals. With that being said, if you do refer me, you're in great hands. I will not sell homeowners that work hard for their money, just like myself, crap that they do not need. But if you want good quality, man, you can't even say cheap anymore. I don't think I can even say cheap by the... You can't even go by price. Okay, that's another commercial. Call me, Bart Inman, one easy number, Missouri and Illinois, 314-293-2600. Remember, it's the only number, Missouri and Illinois, 314-293-2600 or bartinman.com. Now that's Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com.
Turning 50 doesn't mean slowing down. It means getting smarter about your health. That's why we created Neovitin Men's 50 Plus Multivitamin. It's doctor formulated to support your energy, immune health, and overall vitality. Plus, it's made in the U.S. using the finest domestic and international ingredients. Take control of your health with supplements you can trust. Look for Neovitin Men's 50 Plus at your local Schnucks, Dierbergs, or online at neovitin.com. Neovitin, made for men who keep moving forward.
Retiring soon? Get the information you need by joining Kyle Jones and Matt Allgeier of Fire Capital Management for your retirement highway, Sunday mornings at 9:30. Investment advisory services made available through Pine Ridge Advisors, LLC, registered investment advisors. Securities made available through AE Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC.
I'm Debbie Monterrey, and here's what's happening. Riverview Mayor Mike Cornell Jr. has been charged with multiple counts of sodomy, harassment, and possession of child porn after allegedly assaulting multiple victims over the span of a decade. Former St. Louis TV news anchor Angie Mock found unfit to stand trial in the death of her 80-year-old mother due to schizophrenia. The 47-year-old Mock is accused of fatally stabbing her mother last October. Federal immigration agents deployed to Minneapolis using aggressive crowd control tactics defended by the Trump administration. But law enforcement experts warn these measures are escalating risk and being carried out by agents without extensive crowd management training. Rams owner and Missouri native Stan Kroenke is now the biggest landowner in America with about 2.7 million acres of land in the U.S. I'm Debbie Monterrey.
And let's turn our attention to the traffic. We go to the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center and our own wonderful Captain Roger Brand.
Well, John, the only incident we have on the highways right now is one westbound 44 Jefferson. They have all lanes temporarily shut down. They had the left lanes blocked last time I looked a few minutes ago, but they're saying it's debris in the highway, so they have all lanes. The MoDOT trucks sort of keep maneuvering around, but no traffic's getting through right now. Westbound 44 Jefferson, it's a solid jam at a standstill back at 55 on westbound 44. Eastbound 44, not slowing for a look, and there's not enough volume on any of these other highways to slow you down, even in the construction zones. Everything else is on the go for you on both sides of the river. I'm Roger Brand at the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
This report is sponsored by McKelvey Homes.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan at McKelvey Homes. Have you always wished for a brand new home in an established neighborhood? Select one of our move-in ready custom homes throughout St. Louis, or we will build on your lot. Visit McKelveyhomes.com and move up to McKelvey.
It is cloudy and 34 degrees in mid-America.
Time for the Friday edition of Hancock and Kelley.
You two belong together.
John Hancock, Michael Kelley on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
So I have to forward some tickets to you for something you're going to go to.
Yes.
And asking you to be able to secure tickets digitally is almost impossible because the other day you were having trouble with a Google Doc, John Hancock.
You know, you got the spreadsheet out there. You know, it's a Microsoft Excel.
Right.
And you got your little columns, your little rows. You know, I'm good. I'm good with the Microsoft Excel.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody sends me a thing the other day, and you have to, I don't know what it is. It's a Google Doc, whatever that is, and you got to request access to it. And, you know, and then apparently it's some sort of Excel spreadsheet. Well, you can't save it out of the Google Doc. All I wanted was a spreadsheet, Michael. Just just give me the spreadsheet. No. They send me this thing, and then you got to request, and then you got to click on it, and then you can look at it, and I guess, why?
Do you want to go back to old-time ledgers and green shades sitting
like
under a lamp? Would that be the way that John Hancock would like to conduct business?
I do like the ledger.
Well,
you know, when I write my checks for my bills every month,
yeah,
I create a little ledger
do
there.
you really?
Yeah, and I got Xamarin over here. You got Spire coming at you.
Oh, brother.
Yeah, you make a little ledger and you write the little check and you lick the envelope there.
Yeah,
the envelopes. You know, somebody ought to invent an envelope that's tasty.
Right.
Have you ever had a tasty? No envelope. No, you've not.
Tastes like lemon or something.
Exactly.
Really.
I mean, how hard is it?
Have you ever
How
gotten
hard would
envelopes
it
where
be?
you pull the sticker off and in that way you don't have to lick it?
Yeah, no,
That
those are
seems silly.
No fuss. No,
Right.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's an improvement in the technology.
Uh-huh.
But the actual sticker itself on the back of an envelope, why hasn't somebody come up?
You got to know somebody over at Hallmark.
This is
Didn't
our
you
business,
tell
buddy.
somebody over in Hallmark,
This is our
Land?
business. Flavored envelope sticker, whatever you call that thing, flaps.
Yeah.
Flavored flaps. Flavored Flaps is the name of the company.
It's a great idea. The problem is nobody really sends mail anymore. And,
I do.
If you live in the city of St. Louis like me, you barely ever get your mail. So what's the point of having envelopes?
A flavored flap.
Hey, John, speaking
Yes.
of backward thinking and going back in time, the governor of our great state of Missouri gave the state of the state the other day.
He
and
did.
his big announcement was I'm going to do away with the state income tax.
Yes.
That's nearly 60% of the revenue that comes into the state. At the time that he announced this, the state's already short on money. The only way we can eliminate the state income tax is if we raise taxes elsewhere and put those taxes in as, sales taxes. This obviously is something that the Republicans and people of means really like. But if you're a working person out there trying to make ends meet and all of a sudden the sales tax goes up by another 6-7%, how is this a win? Isn't the state income tax the fairest way for us to be able to fund state government?
No. In fact, if you look at the sales tax, and it won't be sales tax only that replaces the income tax. A couple of points here. Number one, the governor is not going to, in one fell swoop, eliminate the state income tax. They're going to phase it out over a period of time, and they're going to replace that revenue. Some of that will be sales tax. Now, the state of Missouri has, and I can't cite numbers. I wish I could, but I can't because I don't know them. But a significant portion of the sales tax revenue that's generated in Missouri is from out-of-state tourists. So what you're doing here is you're replacing a big chunk, 60%. You say, I'm not sure if that number is accurate, but whatever. I'll grant you that it's 60%.
Thank you.
But all of which is paid by Missourians. And when you shift that burden from Missourians to sales tax, a significant chunk of that is going to be paid by folks that don't live here. So I think that's a win. Our income tax in Missouri is a flat tax, which means it disproportionately affects folks on the lower income side. And the sales tax is no different in that regard. And whether in the details of this thing, there's some kind of accommodation made for low-income folks on the sales tax. Perhaps that's part of the solution. But I think not having a sales tax makes Missouri competitive with a lot of there's 11 states in this country that don't have a income tax.
But what we can surely anticipate is that taxes are going to get raised elsewhere. They're going to have to be paid elsewhere. Let's think about businesses. We have a major brewery here in St. Louis. We make airplanes to protect our country and sell them around the world. Would they now start paying higher taxes as a result of the goods that they bring in to create their beer or to make their planes?
Possible. I think corporate taxes are an area that could be used. But, what the governor has proposed is to put before the people of Missouri, if they a measure for them to vote on if they would like to eliminate their state income tax. And then that would then direct the legislature to devise a plan to phase out that income tax over a period of years and replace it with other revenue.
Boy, I can see the ads now. Mike Kehoe raised all these taxes on you. Hey, speaking of taxes, in the city of St. Louis, you pay the earnings tax. You and I give them 1%. Mayor Kara Spencer was down in Jefferson City yesterday on bended knee, pleading with the legislature and those in power to please not take away the earnings tax from the city of St. Louis, because that's the way they fund this vital government. Of course, it's up for a vote again as to whether or not we ought to phase out the earnings tax in the city.
Yeah, the earnings tax should go away. And it's already been heavily damaged through the COVID years of people that were not working in the city. They were working from home and they didn't live here, and they argued before the court that they shouldn't have to pay the 1% earnings tax in the city, and the courts agreed with that. So there's already been a diminution of the earnings tax revenue to the city of St. Louis, and I wish they could figure out a way to fund themselves without taxing the income of the people who work here.
Yeah, and if they would spend all the money they have $100 million in tornado relief dollars that they were going to spend for that tornado that happened almost a year ago. John, you know how much of that they spent?
Zero.
Can you believe that?
Unbelievable. We're going to step aside. When we come back, the president of Missouri Baptist University, Keith Ross, is going to join us. What they've done with their nursing program is remarkable. That's next on KMOX.
I'm Sean Malone. This is KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
Life is really stressful right now. So if you are about to embark upon what is one of life's most biggest stressors, and that would be moving, do yourself a favor and call Gloria Liu of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, because Gloria Liu will take a lot of the stress off your shoulders. And that's important because you've got a lot of things to think about. Your next house, packing, moving, all the things. And Gloria Liu is going to sell your home quickly and for the most money. In fact, she guarantees it. Your home sold, or she'll buy it herself. She makes buying and selling so simple. Gloria will guarantee in writing to sell your home at your agreed upon price, or she'll buy it herself. As always, Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date. If you think you have some specific things that you want to discuss with Gloria, just give her a call, 314-325-6888, or online at gloriahasthebuyers.com. 314-325-6888, gloriahasthebuyers.com. Ask for her guaranteed sale program report and get packing with Gloria Liu of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty.
Hey, good morning. You're heading to the airport, right?
Yep, thanks for checking. I like the car. How long have you been a rideshare driver?
About 3 years now. I really enjoy it.
Isn't it hard to make money these days with the price of gas being so high?
Not for me. I use Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get real money back when you get gas with the Upside app?
Yep, I get real cash back every time I get gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code RAIN to get up to a $5 per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code RAIN to get up to a $5 per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code RAIN.
Hancock and Kelley with you all the way till 10 o'clock. John, Washington University and St. Louis University get a lot of attention in St. Louis, but one thing that's common with them is they're both expensive. There are some more affordable and quality alternatives in the St. Louis area.
Yeah, and you think about this region and the higher education opportunities that exist. You think about UMSL. And one of the jewels of St. Louis is Missouri Baptist University. And joining us right now to talk about that university is its president, Keith Ross. Keith, welcome to KMOX.
Hey, good to be with you guys.
So,
thank you for having me this morning.
We're delighted to have you. Interesting history of Missouri Baptist University. Tell us how it got started and where it's headed now.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you. Thank you for asking. Most people, many of your listeners probably don't know that, but last year we celebrated our 60th anniversary. So 1964 was when the school was actually founded. We began at humble beginnings. Our first classes met at Tower Grove Baptist Church. We had a handful of people that met there, and we started offering classes, and we have grown over these 60 years to almost 3,000 students today. So we've been really blessed and excited about the growth over these 60 years. So that's where we're at now, and we've got a lot of things on the horizon, particularly in the healthcare area that we are focusing on. And you guys mentioned this idea about affordability. That's something that's always on our radar screen too.
Yeah, and it's so hard these days. Families, kids going off to college, and I think increasingly folks are sticking closer to home for that affordability. Your student, 3,000 students, and you've got a pretty diverse mix of students too, all ages even.
Yeah, we do. And then I think that's one of the things that we have been able to do proactively over the years. On our West County main campus, we have about 1,200 students. So that would be sort of our traditional, student body on the campus here. And about 400 of those live here on campus. But then we also have a vibrant online program. And our MBU Online is designed for mostly for working adults. So they might have some college credit, but they never finished their degree. And we have about 400 individuals that are involved in those programs. And then we have almost 800 students in graduate programs. And that ranges from an MBA to a Master of Science in Nursing, a Master's in Social Work. So we are meeting the needs of the community in many, many ways.
And we all know that St. Louis is a region of excellence when it comes to healthcare, and you're helping fill that gap of necessary nursing. Tell us a little bit about your nursing program.
Yeah, well, that's really, I think, an important point, because, as you know, there is a shortage of healthcare workers, and particularly that's for a lot of reasons. Some of them have to do with the pandemic and those moving out of that field. Others are retiring, and then also just the aging demographic. So we want to make sure that the St. Louis region has the trained healthcare workers that they're going to need in the future. And so what we have a traditional nursing program here for those who want to get their BSN. We have a very vibrant school of nursing, but then we also have a program for those who may be an RN right now and they did not get their bachelor's degree. And so we offer an online alternative for them to be able to go from RN to BSN. And then most recently, we have begun offering an accelerated Bachelor of Science in Nursing program. And this is designed for those who already have a bachelor's degree in some other field. And if they come to Missouri Baptist University in 1 year's time, they can become a BSN, get their BSN, become a nurse. And so that has grown as well. And then, of course, we have a Master's of Science in Nursing, which is offered online, and there's an emphasis for nurse practitioners. And that's an important segment too, because often rural communities don't have access to the proper health care that they need. So nurse practitioners can do a little bit more. They can prescribe antibiotics and those kind of things. So we see this as a good niche for us. It complements the mission of the university. And so tremendous growth in those areas.
Keith Ross is our guest. He's the president of Missouri Baptist University. If you folks haven't seen the campus lately, it is growing and vibrant, Keith.
Yes, it is. I would invite your listeners to come out. We're nestled on 68 acres out off of Highway 40 in West St. Louis County, and it is one of the most beautiful campuses in the Midwest. And I really do mean that. We have a great community. It's warm, it's welcome, it's winsome, and we would love to have you come out. And matter of fact, we are in a building project right now. So we're building a new academic building that will house our School of Nursing on campus. And so that's going well. And I am looking out my window right now and watching them put the steel up today. So this is exciting.
That is Missouri Baptist University. Thanks so much for your time this morning. And Chris and Amy are next right here on KMOX.
Hancock and Kelley with us on this Friday, as always, to start the show. Also, we'll visit with Ricky Prohl, a former Ram and Bear. Those two teams play each other. And the Battlehawks just went through the draft. And the Dodgers get another star. Bob Nightingale will be with us. All that and more coming up on the Chris and Amy Show next on KMOX.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Money, sponsored by LendSeek.
What did